time of the day here at DreamHack Open Fall, and it's a regional rivalry to round this one out as Astralis take on their fellow Danes of Heroic. We'll be kicking off Group P competition on the A stream here, and it is going to be a spicy one. And of course, we need to digest some of that spice. My wonderful analysts, Maniac and Maui. Maniac, pleasure to have you back here on the desk, and alongside your beautiful plants as well in the background. Are you all excited to be getting into the CS?
Yeah, thank you for the shout out to my plants. I'm sure they're going to feel very, very happy about it. And yeah, I'm excited. I mean, Counter-Strike hasn't stopped for me today. You guys have been doing a great job for the second game. That was quite crazy as well. I did not see that come back from Fnatic. But now I'm ready for some Danish Counter-Strike.
Yeah, Maui, you said it here first. You know, you're seeing Fnatic topping that Group B. And you know what? It started off pretty well for you.
I'm going to be honest, now that I know that Fnatic are actually all in the same room, I think they're winning this tournament. Like, I was going to hold off to see more, but I honestly, yeah, that's my prediction now. It's a bold one.
You heard it here first from the one and only Maui. Yeah, Maniac's made a note of it now, so you can't be going back on that.
Take it down. Yeah.
We're going to be bringing that up.
All in Fnatic. All my chips are in the middle right now.
And on the first day as well, well, there's actually going to be a lot of chips going on here because we have got 16 teams in the mix here at DreamHack Open Fall. Let's take a look at the current standings here as we take a look over our four groups. Obviously, I think the biggest surprise has to be seeing FaZe fall in that Group C, Maniac. Unfortunately, they lose to Big literally just moments after that win in IM New York.
Yeah, isn't that the actual proper FaZe move to make it completely impossible to know what they're going to bring on the table? And I mean, that can be in a good way and in a bad way. You know, the way they won IM New York, I did not see coming. No one else really saw coming that domination. But then I know they can actually drop the ball the next game. That is pure FaZe over there. Big on the other side, very rising team. Probably one of the most improved teams in Counter-Strike in this, you know, weird period we're in. So a surprise, you know, 50-50.
Yeah, I think Big is one of those teams that have really made the most of this online era coming into it. But staying away from our Group C, of course, we are jumping into Group B action here now on the A stream. We're going to be kicking it off with Heroic versus Astralis. That's going to be an incredible one to be kicking off the proceedings with. But what are you making of this group overall, Maui? Obviously, you're just in G2, managing to take the win over Endpoint. Again, maybe not a huge surprise there.
Yeah, I would say the clear favorites of this group are definitely Astralis and Heroic, so this may be really indicative of who actually wins the group, this one right here. The winner of this, of course, will face off against G2, but they've had kind of some ups and downs lately, so I think that both Heroic and Astralis are in some excellent form right now.
Well, speaking of Astralis, we're going to take a look at their current map performances as well before we get into the map veto. This is an interesting one, isn't it, Maniac? Because we've actually seen a really big resurgence of Nuke. You know, you'll think of Astralis, a couple of years ago when they had that crazy Nuke run, only for ENCE to break it. Actually, the only team that they've lost to Nuke on in the past 3 months has been Heroic. So looking at those stats, Astralis is looking very solid coming into this.
They are indeed, but I do believe we need to take these numbers with a pinch of salt because Astralis' lineup has changed so much during these last 3 months that it reflects on the numbers. And I know from listening to Glaive's interview that the lineups with which they played some map completely changed the face of it. For example, he was mentioning Train and how playing with Boopski was too complicated for him because he had to play inside and he had no idea what the hell he was doing. So bringing in S-Tag, he can play to be anchored and Glaive find his comfort zone. So what I mean by that is we don't really know where Astralis stands right now. We know they're looking good. Obviously, their last wins makes it so, and it's kind of a statement. But I think the numbers, we have to be careful with them.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing about Astralis, you know, having these multiple players on this roster. But turning over to the side of Heroic, Maui, we may have a bit more of a clear-cut picture, if you will, in terms of their tendencies and their maps, as we can see on screen here.
Yeah, Heroic have been sticking with the same lineup for some time now after they've gotten Teslas. It's been at least half a year or so that they've had that player. And so these are pretty solid indicators for how good they will be looking, probably moving forward as well. Nuke, it's been a map that's been strong for them, as we saw Astralis as well. They both like that map. Overpass is been shown to be a little bit of a weak point for them, as Astralis were able to beat them on that lately, but they've actually found comfort in Vertigo, which is a little bit surprising to me that their win rate is as low as it is, because they are very much so willing to pick that.
Well, with all that information, let's get started on this map veto for this next best of 3 series. Maniac, do you want to walk us through your expectations for this one?
Well, I can just say Mirage and Dust 2 should not be played. These are the natural vetoes of both teams. I would be very, very surprised to see it now. If you're Astralis, I feel like now is the time to throw in a curveball. We talk about Nuke, definitely could be a possibility, but there's other possibilities as well. We don't really know where the map room stands. Their train, for example, versus Na'Vi was very impressive. There you have it, they actually go for train. And Heroic, they stand their ground. They peak Vertigo once more. Just for a little bit of history here for the viewers, they played twice in very recent times. Once Heroic destroyed Astralis on Vertigo 16-7, but then the revenge went Astralis' way 16-13. So it's always a little bit shaky grounds. You don't really know who can adjust to whom. Now the third map, Maui, I don't know what you think, but oh, well, here we have it. I was going to say Inferno would be a handshake, but that's the typical third map.
Yeah, I was thinking it could have been Nuke or Inferno, probably. I know that Heroic would have wanted to veto Overpass. That's just not really as much in their comfort zone. So I thought it could have been a coin flip between the two, but Inferno, it's always going to be a great decider match.
Yeah, I think that Vertigo is going to be a really, really interesting map to be seeing in this series. And I'm wondering your thoughts on it, Maui. Obviously, we saw Maniac walking us through this map veto, but very split down the middle, as we can see with this win rate. But Heroic playing it a lot more than Astralis are.
Yeah, Heroic's been a team that's actually run some really nice set plays on Vertigo lately. That being said, it didn't work as well against Astralis in the second match that they played. So it's going to be interesting to see if Heroic are able to innovate any more, if they can actually throw a couple more curveballs into the frame against Astralis here, or will just Astralis be ready? It's really up to how much homework did both of these teams do? Who's going to bring something new to the table? Because Heroic, they won the first time around. Astralis, they came back with revenge, 16-13. But I don't know, this third game, I mean, it's maybe a BO3, I guess, at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one indeed. And Frankie had a chance to catch up with dupreeh ahead of this series. So let's see what he had to say about it.
He's had more than an entire week off, and I'm delighted he's joining me now. Hello, dupreeh. Congratulations, first of all, on being ESL Pro League champions. How are you feeling about it?
Thank you. No, I'm obviously very happy. It's really great. It was great to it's great to be bouncing back as the best team in the world in call of the HLTV ranking.
And how does it feel for you as a team right now, having two in-game leaders in the squad? Because I hear Majus hasn't completely given up the IGL role now that Glaive is back.
No, I mean, Matches is still doing the most of the in-game leading, and I think Glaive is there to support him whenever he feels like he can't find a solution or if there's an issue, finding the right tactics to run. So they are a couple that kind of work together right now in a really good dynamic way.
The team at the top of the various rankings is constantly changing at the moment in this online period, but I do need to ask you, who is the best Danish team right now?
Hands down, I believe we are the best team. I think Heroic has produced some really good results, and obviously they are in a really good form right now. I mean, the thing is, both teams can beat each other whenever. Like, it's not like we will beat Heroic every single time, and it's not like they will beat us every single time. It's very up and down, whoever hits the shots on the day. But you gotta give them some credit. Like, the guys from Heroic has been playing incredible the last couple of months, so they have deserved every single thing they have. And obviously with all the coaching thing, it's very unfortunate that some people seem to be taking a lot of the credit from them because they've earned everything that they have achieved. So it's rough, but I still think they can be very proud of themselves, and it's just a joy to see two Danish teams in the top two of the ranking. So I mean, I still believe we are the better team in many aspects, but at the same time it's a very open battle.
Some wise words there from the man himself, dupreeh. And I think it's an interesting point to be starting off our discussion on Maniac. They've actually, the last time they were playing on an official match was at ESL Pro League, and they managed to win it. Obviously, the grand finals 3-2 over Na'Vi. And then looking down at their results at that tournament, the only two teams they lost out to were Heroic and Complexity. But then they went to beat them later on in the tournament. So we're looking at Astralis' form, and surely it's looking promising coming into this.
Absolutely, and the man we had the pleasure to have an interview is actually on fire right now. dupreeh has been the man of the hour for Astralis in their most recent games. Also in the most recent confrontation versus Heroic, he boasted a 141 rating, so he was all over the place. You have Estak as well. News is out there now. He's gonna write a new chapter in his Counter-Strike career, apparently sometimes soon. But is he gonna free him? It can happen. There's really two ways it can go. Either he doesn't really care about what's happening, or he plays with absolutely no pressure. And I'm really, really hoping this is going to be his choice. This is going to be his way. Because And I just want to take a minute to give him credit. The journey of Astralis as a player, I think, is very fascinating. It's inspiring. It's a player that had issues in the past, got removed, benched from teams, but then he evolved. He became versatile. He became solid. He can play any role. And what's happening to him right now, it's all very much deserved.
Yeah, it is indeed. And of course, Astralis was a part of that heroic lineup previously, a very staple part of that roster. And of course, they'll be over on the other side of the server. And as always, the lovely Cadian agreed to give us a few wise words before this match.
Cadian, thank you so much for joining me for DreamHack Openfall. I can't wait to see how far you guys go in the tournament. But I want to talk about how you would describe the heroic approach to CS, because there's been a lot of talk of the individual's aggression on the team, but also the fact that you guys trade so effectively in the mid round.
It's quite funny actually to listen to the interpretation of what others think our playstyle is, because I don't think people agree. So yeah, I mean, I can try and give my point of view of how our playstyle is. I think we are playing with a lot of defaults where we have different kinds of openings to the rounds. Often we like to pressure the opponents with a lot of early utility, and then we like to wait and see if we can force them into making mistakes or information pushes, and then I'll make a mid-round call out of that. CT as well, we like to be very proactive, take initiative, and make sure that the terrorists do not have enough space to just execute all their strategies.
Astralis, your first opponents, they did knock you out the EPL playoffs. So what do you think you need to do differently this time in order to take them down?
Well, we played 2 games. We should play more like the first one, where we won 16-7 twice. I think they're a super strong team. There's a rivalry building between us, not only in the Danish scene, but also as a spot for the first place in the world. We are currently 1 and 2 on the world ranking. I think we'll just need to make sure our game plan is good and structured, and that we make the right decisions throughout the game. Maybe we'll have a little bit trick up our sleeves as well for the veto, but we'll have to wait and see for that.
Oh, okay, fine. Well, finally, just before we let you go, who's the better Danish team? Is it you or Astralis?
We are, for sure.
Love it. Thank you so much, Cadian. Good luck in your game against Astralis.
Thank you, Frankie.
I love how dupreeh was humble when he was asked that question. Cadian, no bother, Maui. He just says straight up, heroic are the best team in Denmark.
Yeah, totally. Cadian's confidence, you gotta love it, because he can be such a streaky operator at times, but when he does have that confidence flowing through his veins, he can really turn the tide of a game.
And of course, that leaves us with our predictions for this final best of 3 of the day. Maniac, who are you going to be siding for this one?
I'll go for Astralis. I think we're using the word rivalry a bit too fast here. Let's not, forget that Astralis have been at the top for a very, very, very long time. No disrespect to Heroic. What have been accomplished in the past few weeks and months is really good, but it's still Astralis.
What about you, Maui? Who are you siding with?
Yeah, I've got to go with Astralis. It feels like they have just so many weapons across the board.
Yeah, my heart, it's calling me out to go with Heroic, but I think I'm also going to be going with Astralis across the board here. But, there's hope in the Twitch chat, and this is going to be an interesting one because, we've got 2 Danish teams here, so that regional rivalry definitely going to be brewing. Let's see who Twitch chat are going to be siding for this one. 90% Heroic.
Wait,
man.
What?
You guys love an underdog story, and best of luck to you. I think this is going to be an absolutely insane game. And of course, it is our final best of 3 series of the day here at DreamHack Openfall. And what a banger to be rounding off the evening when 2 titans of the Danish seed will be colliding, but only one can begin hot here at the DreamHack Openfall. Find out who will be taking it after this.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. DreamHack Openfall continues with the game of the day. It's Astralis taking on Heroic in Group B. My name is Dinko. I'm joined by Holker. And I don't know about you, Alex, but this is the most excited I've been about a Counter-Strike match in a very long time.
I'm so excited to get into this, Dinko. My prayers to the CS gods have been answered. We got some top-tier Counter-Strike. We are blessed on this fine day. And there's so many ways you can go with this. There's so many storylines. There's almost too much to talk about heading into this game, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, we can get straight into Vertigo. Obviously, this map has been the real battle, right? Last time around, Astralis edged it out. You think Heroic should have been taking that one? Well, we get to see a best of 3 in terms of the map now as well as we head on to Vertigo for the 3rd time in recent history for these two teams. Astralis on the T side, applying early pressure up towards ramp. Glaive looking for that fight, but he'll slow it down after they've scared the defense back into the site.
So in the previous pistol between these two teams, Heroic went for a big flank through the ramp. They tried to flank through mid when they saw Astralis do that, but that did not work. Astralis were ready for it, so this time Heroic is sitting back. They're playing on the A site. The problem could be that Borup is currently alone on B. He's going to require some assistance if they decide to push that site.
Slower stance right now for Astralis. They took some early control towards ramp, scared off the defense a little bit, and have slowed it down as the mind games begin. And you can see Heroic, starved from information, are going to be making their play in towards middle. Cadian walking right into the witty arms of dupreeh, who should be taking this kill, but a couple of whiff bullets, and Cadian gets away alive. Now the attack into the A bomb site comes in for Astralis, and Testis also has sound out towards the elevator to help him out, but it's not working out just yet for Astralis. They're not onto the bomb site just yet. Estetag, his last tournament with Astralis, will be getting that bomb planted, and now they have to find a way to hold on to it. It's a 5 versus 5 retake. One of those rare scenarios where everybody on the server is still alive into the final few moments of this round. This pistol means everything to a good start, and Cadian's going to grab Glaive, Borup able to follow up, and the kills are coming in for Heroic early on into this one. There's 3 players left for Astralis, and the swarm of Heroic players continue to bombard the site. The defuse starting to come through, and Heroic, they've done it. They truly pulled this off. The defuse is stuck, and Heroic are off to a good start.
Oh god, it's such a sloppy start to the game for Astralis, not landing some of those shots, Dinko. They had the chances to get those kills, but Heroic just get on the bomb, they take fights, and they don't get headshotted that quickly, and it's an instant timeout from Astralis, Dinko. How often do you see this?
This was a super scrappy round across the board there from Astralis. Missed shots for dupreeh. He should have had that early kill on towards, I believe it was Cadian who pushed in towards middle. That should have been an easy kill for dupreeh. The following round on that A bomb site was so rough in those final few moments. So yeah, Astralis kind of shake it off a little bit coming into this one. They've been shaken. And well, Heroic with the pistol win. That's a good start, but Astralis, they get the bomb plant, Alex, and we know what that means. It's a game of who won the pistol round. As Astralis have the AK-47s out in the hands of Glaive and Device. Magis picking up one as well. Let's see, Khalil. And it's going to be the 2 deagles for the rest of the Astralis side.
Yeah, Estetag has been that good teammate, dropping over that AK to one of his friends so that they can get the good buyout onto the Astralis side, as good as it can be into this round. Oh, spray from Testis doing almost all the damage required. Device with one of those AKs is down to 10 health off the back of that early spray. So they might think about potentially putting that AK into someone else's hands. Indeed, dupreeh's turn to try it, and this is the boosting.
Oh, here we
this
go.
still is in the game.
Yep, it is. Popularized.
An MP7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, this is an interesting one. You've put the weakest weapon up in this place, and I guess, Alex, you're looking at it, it helps the MP7 out a little bit. The money can be picked up. You're putting it in the best position possible to find a kill. I wonder if they check this. I wonder if Astralis are ready for this. Whether or not they even consider this as an option. And well, Magic's going to walk right in, shut down, up on top of the boost. This is unbelievable. Heroic making it work early on. 50 seconds left. And Astralis realize they've got to deal with that. Glaive is going to spam through. Nico goes down. A 4 versus 4 with 45 seconds still on that timer. Astralis can afford to slow things down a little bit and catch their breath.
Yeah, it looks like Glaive is ready for how to deal with that angle. I'm sure some teams have been trying that in scrims against them, so they're ready to pre-fire that position. And this is what Astralis loved to do in their round wins last time these teams played. They pressure A, they go back to B, and you can see on the minimap, Borup is currently alone on this B site.
Borup in quad, 17 seconds. He could deny it all here if Astralis run through and don't check him, if they don't spot him out. But here comes the Molotov. That's going to force him into the open, and the flashbang is perfect from Device. Estetag taking him down on the deagle. And Astralis, this is looking so good for the round win.
Could be a straight up save here. That's a very real possibility. Heroic already seeming to back away from this one. And I'm so glad to see Astralis already starting to make the most of that B site early in this game. That was the adaptation they made about halfway through the half last time, where they realized they could come back to B, and that oftentimes Heroic were really heavily stacked on that A site. So they go for it in a really important round early in the game, and now Astralis have a chance to try and get in control of the economy. At least Heroic will be saving some weapons, but it's not going to be that great for them. Only the one M4 carried over, a FAMAS for Stown, a Scout for Cadian. They can get what they can into the next round, but it's obviously Astralis who are going to be by far the happier team. They even get to save an M4 Dinko, so their money should be sitting pretty ahead of this next round.
Yeah, that's one of those scenarios where you lose the pistol round. It's not the most convincing round, but you call the pause immediately after. You get that bomb plant, you get the money in, and Astralis can definitely win those kind of rounds when they've only got a couple of rifles in play. I loved the boost from Heroic. I loved the approach to the round. It just doesn't really play out. I think Astralis get too much space to work with. Heroic didn't really capitalize on that early ramp pressure across the other parts of the map. They didn't have as much control as I would have liked them to have there. In round number 3, and still a chance here for Heroic. Testis for the M4, FAMAS in the hands of Stown, Scout for Cadian, and 2 decals. This is certainly a round they can pull off. This is certainly a round they can find success in. But Astralis obviously heavily favored into this one.
Slow start to the round from Astralis again. Heroic haven't really gone for too much aggression straight up in these early rounds. They haven't really tried to push into the ramp. They haven't really gone for any massive bits of aggression early in these rounds. They're happy to play from the sites for now. And wait to see what Astralis are going to do in this early round. dupreeh playing up close has to be aware of this boosted player. Nico can just sit patiently, though, and it's going to be an awkward fight for dupreeh if he takes it, but nades onto the A site.
Oh,
Testis is still pushed in short. This could be a great spot.
Yeah, but Cadian's already found 1 kill. Testis as well. He had his teammate behind him if needed. Well, Astralis, they've lost the first 2 players, and it's all crumbling here. dupreeh needs to find success in middle. He's been able to find one onto Nico, but now he's being run down. He needs to get away. He gets around the corner. 23 seconds left. dupreeh falls all the way back. The bomb will go down for Astralis, and now this B-bomb site is looking deadly. They've taken down Testis as well. It's Device successful in finding that kill, but Stown has shut down Glaive, and take a look at dupreeh's health. 1 health point is all he has to work with. So Device, the pressure is truly on his shoulders. They do a lot of the heavy lifting here. He's going to be shut down by Cadian on the Scout. It's all on dupreeh. 1 HP to try and win it, and it won't be happening. Split rounds back and forth to start this one off, and it's Heroic that will take the lead again.
Well-timed aggression from Heroic there, pushing into ramp, getting the information as well as the kills, and that's one of the ways you can counter those fake A's and back to B's that I was talking about earlier. Astralis go for a similar play. Cadian gets the first kill, they get the flank through, and then they can rotate over him. Well, Cadian just had a freebie there onto Device. Nice shot with the Scout up close. It's been a bit of a brawl at the start of this game. Both teams continuing to buy. Astralis this time missing some nades, missing some weapons, and Heroic have got that AWP out into the hands of Cadian.
Well, Device pushing up. Oh, he's going to take that early fight, and it works out for him. Testis is the player that falls to it. And Device has opened things up with a good kill for Astralis. And now they have turned their attentions back to middle here. Glaive will be trying to walk his way out, but Cadian has scoped in, this time with the AWP. Did a lot of work in the previous round with the Scout. Estetag just absolutely domes down. Another push-up. Cadian has got a good position to elevator. Estetag, I don't think, was aware of that possibility for some reason. Magis, he'll shut down Nico. Big plot from Cadian right through the smoke. A second picked up into the round, but he needs all 5. He needs to ace this round in a 1 versus 3. He'll walk back spawn. A minute still left, and that bomb making its way over to the B-bomb side. They've got so much control of this round here, Astralis. What a weird start to this game it has been. Such a large investment here in this round for Heroic as well. So we go into the next round. If they do lose this AWP, which is pretty likely, there's going to be no money left for Heroic. And Astralis now have a good chance of picking up a few more.
It looks like that economy game has finally been settled, finally been sorted. AWP gets saved over for Astralis. Heroic on their last legs with their money. And something to watch for in this game, Dinko, is that I think Heroic need to make sure they don't give up those man advantages too often. That was something that they struggled with again in that previous matchup. Sometimes they were giving away those early picks, and, well, they've done it again in this round. Magisk with an insta-kill over towards B. That's the rifle as well.
Yeah, maybe the pressure, you know, Heroic have this sort of confidence you can see in the interviews before. They have the confidence, Cadian saying they're the best team in Denmark. I feel like that confidence can come back to bite them a little bit if they feel like they're unbeatable in these opening duels. It hasn't been working out for them. They're giving these fights away, and dupreeh, nice double on the transfer. Cadian and Borat both going down. It does leave Tessus and Nico alone into a 2v5. And Astralis, this round's all about just limiting the casualties, right? Keeping as much money in the bank as possible moving forward. And Heroic, well, they're going to be down to the full eco into this next round. Absolutely nothing to play with, so Astralis will get a goofy rounds now on this T side.
Just have a look at these nades, make sure they're all in the right spots. Not really going to matter too much because Heroic have basically no one here. Tessus does have a molly. Maybe that could slow things down, but there's still so much time for Astralis. They should be good to go here. Bomb being planted. Tessus has the right angle, but the box defends the bomb planter. And now it's all about just maybe damage from Heroic, maybe even saving these guns. There's very little to be done here for the Heroic side. It is going to be Astralis taking that 3-2 lead. Glaive's even getting kills through the smoke, because why not? That's just what Glaive does.
That is what Glaive does. He's here on the server. We missed him. He's now back, taking kills through smokes. And Astralis heading into the lead. Will be one round up. Heroic going into this next one. They will just have Nico on a deagle. The rest of the team should be on the USP, zero investment. Astralis should be taking this next one. Absolutely no problem. Oh, an M4. Now that's a nice little steal there. Thank you very much. Nico will take that.
I was going to say, I thought there was an M4 there. I wasn't sure if it got shot off the map or something crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Nico going out in the scavenge, finds it. Well, at least that's something to play with here. Maybe you can do something with it.
Just touching back on that point I was making previously in terms of Heroic losing those man advantages, the other concern with that is that Astralis are the worst team in the world to lose that man advantage against, right? Stats-wise, Astralis have the highest win rate when they get that man advantage. 77% of the rounds they win once they have that man advantage. And I don't know about you, Dinko, but if I were Heroic, I wouldn't like those odds.
No. Another statistic for Astralis that you kind of touched on previously, we can talk about here as well, is just their ability to win those second round force buys after they lose pistol rounds as well. I feel like that's something is just ridiculous. The only team that beats them out is Tyloo, and well, they play in the Asian scene, so
that doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly, right. They're just so much more gifted than us. But here, this is impressive. Astralis are constantly playing against the best teams in the world, and I'm gonna say the best team in the world at the second round force buys. So you're never going to be able to give any inches to Astralis because they will take a mile. And so Heroic, any opportunity you give to Astralis, they are going to take it. You're going to have the tightest ship here going up against Astralis and Vertigo.
Well, Nico's got that 1M4 into this round for Heroic. He was someone who had an unbelievably good CT half of Vertigo against Astralis previously. I think he got 17 kills in the first 10 rounds. It was an unreal start, and Stound's got the flank. Easy kill with the USP. There shouldn't be too much more where that came from, especially in this long-range fight. Stound just going back and forth and hoping he can bait some players in. But Esatag is taking some control towards the A site itself, and Tessus about to be caught out. Nico may be able to get a kill or two, but it's unlikely he'll get much more than that, and he's not even allowed it. Glaive and Device, both with clean kills. Astralis getting off to a good start here. 4-2 lead for them. However, here comes the buy for Heroic. Won't be a perfect buy, mind you.
No, it certainly will be lacking across the board. You can immediately see the amount of FAMAS that they have on the server. There's 3 of them in play. That does allow them to get a little bit more utility. And against Astralis, you kind of want to have the utility. So you can definitely understand the reasoning as to why they have gone to the FAMAS instead. Let's see if it works out for them. Still could be too much of a weakness. They're going to boost dupreeh up over here on B to try and go for this opening pick, or at least get him into a position where it can be later useful. Oh, Over the top, he's going to take the fight. He's going to win it as well. Bork going down. Oh, down. He's out of there as well. dupreeh has found a huge opening to this B bomb site. And to be honest, Alex, that might just be enough here. Astralis are giving themselves such a huge advantage into round number 7. Well, cadian's going to catch out Device. And that's a little bit unorthodox. And Heroic, still a man down. But that kill pulls them just a little bit closer.
dupreeh has been a man in form recently with some of his games, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's just hit a whole nother level in some of these recent games. A dastardly double onto the B site. Like you said, though, not quite the same old Astralis with Device walking onto B alone. That AWP has actually been recovered by Nico as well, so this round certainly isn't over. Astralis are continuing to take their time. 35 seconds left on the clock, and Nico is just rotating away from B at the wrong time. This might be another save for Heroic if he can't get back to the site.
Yeah, I don't think he is going to be able to get back there. And I don't think it's the worst save either for Heroic. Obviously, you want to try and get these round wins, but you've got the AWP, you've got the M4. You take a look at the money, and it's not there. The problem I do have for Heroic is, at what point are you giving Astralis too much? They have to go for the round win. Magis taking a headshot, Texas pulling one back, Nico following up, but the round is done. Astralis will find themselves the pickup, and there's 5-2 on the board. No AWP, nothing saved over for Heroic, and that does put them in a half-buy situation yet again.
Bit of solo aggression into the mix. dupreeh channeling is in a Bubsky, maybe.
I mean, they have him on the bench.
Exactly. Nice couple of kills onto the B site. I did get a little bit scared, Dinko. When I saw dupreeh was planting the bomb on like 29 health, the nade nearly killed him. The nade nearly slowed that bomb plant even further. That came a little bit close, but it worked out okay for Astralis. Nico playing up close to the smoke. This angle is always surprisingly effective with the Deegs. The flank, though, has been caught out. TSS falling early.
Oh, Nico.
In the smoke, though.
He'll find this surely, but Device will turn around. He catches him. Estetag following up as well. And Astralis just all over the pistols, not getting anything. That was a chance. That was a chance there for Nico. But Device turning around, catching him. Astralis up 6-2 now. This is a fantastic start for Astralis, and one Heroic will not be too happy with. They haven't been able to compete. They've tried and tried with these force buys, these rounds where they've decided to go for the buy when their money was not in a good spot. They were desperately trying to be able to compete in these early rounds, Alex, but Astralis have just edged it out. And that is a bit of a problem now for Heroic, because now they have a lot of work to do.
Definitely could be a problem for them as this game goes on. Down looking for exit kills. Body shots might get these kills, but he's not even going to go for that. He will just save the Deeg. So the buy finally coming through. Double AWP set up for Heroic on their CT side. cadian and Stown both picking up those snipers. No kit yet. No kit for Heroic, Dinko. They have everything they could want except for that kit. So that does leave them a little limited. It means they can't play retake on A, really, unless they're going to be very fast. But they've got those AWPs. If they can get those early kills, they won't care. And Stown's already got one.
I did want to just bring up the point that these AWPs from the early signs have been very important for Heroic. I feel like this is what could turn the tides in this half. And well, what a shutdown. Astralis have just been picked apart, torn to pieces. As Estetag and Device left alone in a 2v5, what can they really hope to do here? Absolutely nothing. As Test is stuck on the side, as long as there's no monumental error from Heroic, this should be a locked-in round in convincing fashion. Device left alone. 1 versus 4 now. Desperately hoping for a mistake from Heroic, but they are not going to give him an easy fight. Nico just tears his head right off, and that is the round you want if you're Heroic. That's a big step up across the board. I believe the only player that didn't get a kill in that round was Testis, but overall, fantastic stuff from Heroic.
And that's a confidence booster for Heroic right there. That round win. They won the individual fights. Their aggressive play worked over at B to begin with. They didn't lose the opening kill this time. And they just won a bunch of fights across the board. And I'm really glad that Heroic win a round like that, just for their confidence. Because I think that's the main thing with this Heroic team. If they play with confidence, they can actually beat the best in the world. We've already seen it.
Yeah, I mean, second on the HLTV rankings in the world right now. Astralis to number 1. This is I agree with Maniac. It's not quite a rivalry just yet. I mainly say that because any team that has had a potential rivalry or what we consider a rivalry against Astralis generally gets battered within a couple of matches, right? The only team that's kind of been able to consistently have what we call a rivalry against them is, I feel, Liquid. And even then, Liquid would kind of... They lost every final until there was a patch of bad form, right, from Astralis. So I feel like Astralis, if there's a team that is giving them problems, if there's a team that's a little bit of a nuisance towards them, I feel like they focus up and it can become very difficult if you play them consistently. I'd love to see this. A domestic battle of Heroic can keep this up and consistently battle against Astralis. Well, that could be a real storyline to build on. Tessa's just boost. Oh, it's going to work. He spotted the bomb. He's stuck on the head. He's stuck in the head of his teammate, but he will get away safely. And well, the distraction is actually enough to allow Bort to pick up a double, Alex.
Yeah, Bart switching up his position, normally playing on that B site, but in this one he's at the sandbags, and the molly almost takes down dupreeh. 6 health points remaining on him. Borup's trying to walk back to safety. Those smokes are going to fade shortly. I don't think Astralis have spotted him, though. He's able to get back to the site. Device realizing that he might have just lost that opportunity. 45 seconds left for Astralis. Barely any nades for them. They're trying to molly the sandbags. They're hoping that they can get a kill onto A. But that man has already gone back to the site itself. And now Heroic can just sit back, turtle up, and they should win this round every time.
Yeah, they've done enough to get themselves in a very comfortable position. It would take absolute heroics from Device and dupreeh, no pun intended, to win this round. And 17 seconds left. Utility is starting to come up. Smokes deployed. Itchy grenade in hand for Stown. I'll be waiting for the prime chance here, but 10 seconds now, Alex. This is getting a little bit worrying for Astralis. And you go for the bomb plant, nade over the top. That'll deny. Surely at this point, dupreeh out of that. Now it's just Device scouring away. He wants to die before time. And in fact, he will. Stown gives him that at least. 4 rounds on the board for Heroic. And I like this. As soon as they pulled out those double ops, it's been nothing but success. I mean, 2 rounds in a row, of course, Alex, but I have to say, these rounds have been convincing from Heroic, which is a huge turnaround and exactly what they needed.
Yeah, having those double AWPs, I think, has been a big help, like you said. I think having one of those AWPs on B especially means they can be a bit more comfortable leaving that AWP solo holding the site and then maybe rotating more over towards A. And we haven't even really seen Heroic get too aggressive into the ramp itself. Quite often, you'll see teams push all the way down, try and get up close and personal. Generally, though, Heroic have just been fighting more back towards the site or even just towards the top of ramp. And that's been working really well for them so far. In this round, though, there's no one fighting for the ramp, Dinko. There's only TSS on this A side of the map. Astralis so far have been keeping the pace pretty slow, though, so Heroic might have a bit of time to try and figure this one out.
Yeah, Astralis have been relatively slow in this approach, and like you said, that does have time or allow time for Heroic to figure out where they want to go with the rotates and get the players in position, adjust the defense accordingly. And they've already done that. This A hold is much better. They've got a crossfire with Testis up on top of the boost. Stown playing towards elevator for that initial peak. I feel like Utility will come in and neutralize this spot very shortly, though. Stown just holding just in case. Just in case there's a contact plate from Astralis. And in fact, they will start to move forward. 38 seconds now on that timer. Smokes are up. Utility being used up. Nearly the shot from Device, but Testis will survive. And now the full rotation coming in from Heroic. They're ready for this retake. Astralis do get that bomb down, but it's a 5v5 retake here on this A bomb site. Heroic taking their time, ready to swing on in, ready to take these fights as Astralis sit back in their post plants. Device has taken a lot of damage from the itchy grenade coming in towards his position. He'll re-smoke off in case it's the Molotov coming through, and that's worked out for him. He'll jump up on top, now looking for the kills. Heroic have not presented themselves just yet, and now they swing on by. It's Testis with the first kill on the Glib. So far, not so good for Astralis, but Device gets one, still inside of the smoke. They're pulling them into the crosshairs of Astralis, and they're tearing them apart. Borth and Stown trying to get the round on the board here, but it is just Estetag, and he is delayed long enough for Astralis to win the round. Heroic just pulled into the chaos, and Astralis to walk away with it.
At a minimum, Heroic saved their 2 AWPs, but I thought they were going to use their nades to maybe try and deny the plant initially. That plant came down so quickly, Dinko. I didn't even realize it had happened for a second because I thought we were going to see the nades. I thought we were going to see the spam, but Astralis get the bomb planted so fast that Heroic have to try and use their nades for the retake. And the problem with that is that Astralis still had nades of their own as well. So everyone gets stalled out. So much time bought by Astralis. They win their 7th round and they go straight back to the ramp.
And that's the problem with the 5v5 retakes. It gets a little bit messy. It's not the most orthodox round to be played out. It can be a little bit confusing at times. That's the tag with the opening kill. Testis immediately getting the 1 trade, but nearly the 2nd kill that. And that would have given Heroic a huge advantage into round number 12. But they will get away with it. Astralis will still hold 4 players.
Again, Astralis happy to keep it slow after the initial exchange. Smoke's being traded out on the ramp. That nade, oh, it is going to do some damage onto Clave. Testis is now getting up close to this smoke. He's still alone on this A side of the map. He has to be very careful here that he doesn't give this up. And you can see now he realizes it, just going back to the bomb site.
Yeah, I love the fallback here from Testis. If he gets caught out in the ramp there, he goes down immediately, which was pretty likely. Maybe he gets 1 kill, but he's instantly traded there, and that gives the bomb site up to Astralis. The rotation would be relatively slow from Heroic. So Testis making the right call and falling back. Still a 4v4, 30 seconds left. Very passive setups from both teams in terms of how they're approaching this one. Slow and methodical for Astralis. Heroic not really giving them anything. Smoke in to delay this short push, and while 18 seconds, Astralis are going to have to go through it if they want to get towards the site, and Testis is aware of that. Comes down to whether or not the timing works out for him. Glaive goes through. Testis looking for the kill. He'll find it onto Glaive, and now has the cross covered as well. He's going to shut down Estetag, looking for dupreeh, and well, what a round from Testis. He's managed to make it work, and Magisk was just nowhere near the action. It's a 5th round for Heroic, and Astralis so tentative in their T-side approach.
Yeah, Heroic again just able to hold on to their nades as well. And I think that's partly because now you've got this double AWP setup. You don't need to use your nades early. You can just hold early angles with the AWP. You have nades left. You had that smoke left to smoke off short towards the end of the round. That just completely throws Astralis off there. Testis is able to make the most of it up close behind the smoke. And Astralis had no way they were going to get onto the bomb site at that point. Heroic had everyone else rotated over. It's a 5th round win for Heroic. It's starting to shape up to be a close game as Magisk goes for the hero AK in this round. The only man with a rifle for Astralis. He has got a lot of weight on his shoulders in this one.
To be honest, it feels like Heroic are currently the more comfortable team. If it wasn't for that good start that Astralis had, well, we could be looking at a very different scoreline. Heroic have done well since they've got the full buy round out. And we're struggling in the economy game, but once they've had the guns in their hands, they've been looking very solid indeed. And whilst down, nice shot, flicks out to the left side and catches Magisk. An opening kill for Heroic. And I have to say, Alex, a point you brought up a little bit earlier on was the fact that Heroic was sometimes giving those opening kills away too freely. They've stopped that. They've tightened things up.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just been a complete turnaround from Heroic in these recent rounds. Again, in this one, they're still able to hold on to their nades, flash into the ramp. Great kill for Borat. That's the bomb dropped. And now the rotate can begin. They know the bomb is trapped on this B site for a long, long time here. Astralis have to come back to get this bomb, and they're burning. Down to half health. A flash again for Borat. Beautifully done. 2 kills on the spray. And the Astralis have got nothing going for them in this round. Heroic with a 6th round win. They're really starting to get going now.
Yeah, this is a good game we've got on our hands here, Alex. I was starting to worry for the start that Heroic had, but as soon as they pulled those rifles out, they have looked very solid indeed. I love how that's even just a deagle round from Astralis, and Heroic are just sending Borup over the top with a flashbang to shut them down. These are the deagles just looking floundered. Borup, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. And Astralis calling a tactical timeout. And we got 2 remaining. And a fun fact for you guys, Estetag's deal taking him to Cloud9 was worth nearly 500 FAC new Dragon Lores, factory new. Well, that's pretty crazy. I think I prefer the real cash, Alex. I think I prefer the $2.1 million. It's pretty nuts.
You're a sensible man, I hear. See.
Give me Dragon Lords or $2.1 million. I think I'll take the cash. In an envelope.
In an envelope.
Envelopes.
Nice. Oh, yeah. That would be a big envelope.
Yeah.
Back into the
Nonetheless,
action.
it's a quicker play from Astralis this time. They're changing it up and while running through the smoke. The Teslas with the first Estetar coming in. Nico following suit, but there's equal trades on this ramp.
Lots of early smokes from Astralis there to actually try and push up the ramp in the first place. I like this pace change. This is something I think we needed from Astralis, but it's still only into that 3v3, which isn't necessarily going to be great for them. This is where they go back to B, though. This is where they try and see if they can make it work back on that B site. The difference here is that it's not Borup anchoring the site anymore. It's down with the Orc. He hasn't been tested too much on the B site itself. The boost is about to come on up, and oh, they made some noise there. I'm not sure if Stown heard that, but he's having to watch both mid and B. That's making his life so difficult.
Well, Sound taking down Glyph. He'll be looking for another one on this horde. dupreeh, a device, they run forward, and they've pulled it back somehow into an equilibrium. Missed shots from cadian, and that is a big problem now as Astralis can hold in the 2v2. The bomb goes down. cadian will not miss twice. He catches device in the cross, and now it is all dupreeh. Can he win the round here? 1 versus 2. cadian and Borup both coming back into the side. dupreeh holds the first angle at generators. He's been dropped down to 42 for that HE grenade, and cadian running over the top with a pistol. They double up in the same position, and dupreeh goes down. It'll be a round picked up for Heroic as they tie things up 7-7. So looking for the AWP. There we go. Back on that defuse.
He's got it. He's got it. It's all good. It's really nice getting to see some more of this B site as well, Dinko, especially in the post plants. Because Astralis are struggling in some of these post plant situations. They're not able to get off the site in time. They're getting trapped in those open positions where you don't have much to work with, right? You don't have many angles you can play behind. You don't have much cover. You're seeing Astralis struggle to get back to safety, struggle to get back to good spots for those post plant scenarios. And that leaves them in this position, Dinko. Heroic with the better buy into the last round of the half. They're looking like the team more likely to take the lead from the first half, especially with cadian getting that early kill.
Well,
oh, wow.
Testis, that's a very good kill in towards mid. Glyph going down. dupreeh's going to try and swing on by, but it's Nico this time. Heroic just have an answer for every question Astralis has for them. And this last round of the half has been a non-starter for Astralis. It never really got going. Heroic, I have to say, looked like the better team when the rifles came out. They have looked comfortable. They've shut down this T side. And Astralis, they have not really had an answer. Trying to figure out what they're doing on the defense. And well, there we go. It's 7 coming in. Heroic will lead the way going into the second half. A little bit of a shaky start, but we'll see if they can continue this good form as we head into the second. Thank you.
Well, Heroic may have the lead from the first half, but last time these two teams played, Astralis were able to win 10 rounds on their CT side. That's where they got most of their work done. And look at this pistol round by Dinko. They've got 3 HE grenades on the pistol. If Heroic get nade stacked, they're going to be so mad.
Yeah, this could be messy. If Astralis show up in the pistol round with these nades, which they so often do, Alex, they are one of the best teams in the world at using utilities, so this could get a little bit messy for Heroic. We'll see what they have up their sleeve, though. Astralis setting up with the HE grenades on this A-bomb site. Heroic a bit of a slower approach. Have to say, though, coming into the second half, you're just tuning in, Astralis got off to a pretty hot start. They went missing as soon as Heroic got those rifles out. So it's on Astralis to sort of regain that momentum. It's on Astralis to try and get their way back into this game mentally. And we know how strong they are on the CT side, Alex. We know how strong they can be.
Absolutely. And the issue here, specifically in the pistol round for Heroic, is they only actually have 1 smoke. So these 3 nades on the A site, they can pretty easily put them in the right spot and potentially deny that bomb plant. Borup is lining up that 1 smoke now. All 3 players on the A site with nades ready to use.
We'll see if they do anything in this round. The nades go up over the top, a good bit of damage, but no kill. Cadian able to find a headshot. Essetine going down. Magisk able to reply. We've got ourselves a 4v4 with Heroic so low in HP, though. They're still alive. Eventually, Testis will be picked off. And now a 3v4 post plant for Heroic. This is not going to be easy at all. Nico on the flank. He has to get a move on. He has to go quite quickly as Astralis start their retake. The smoke goes onto the bomb. Stown holding the cross, but Nico, keep eyes on Nico as he starts to flank in behind. It's going to be Stown going down, so all the pressure really is on Nico on this flank. Smoke is up for the defuse. It's going to come through in the smoke. The kills may come in, but the round has been won by Astralis. They'll be finding the pistol. A chaotic one again. If you remember back to that first half, Alex, it was not the cleanest of pistol rounds. And it plays out the same way here in the second.
Who needs nades when you got ninjas, Dinko? Ninja defuse in the smoke. Sneaky beaky like, but as always, Heroic are going to be forcing. They got that bomb down. AK dropped over to Tessis, who's still buying. Nico also has money. He's going to get a Galil. Heroic took a long time to buy at the start of this round, though. So Astralis are actually going to be safe on the ramp to begin with. And this is something we rarely saw from Heroic on their CT side. Pushing up close, Astralis getting all the early information, all the early ramp control, and Heroic simply can't let this happen. They have to retake this control at some point. Otherwise, Astralis have just cut off an entire side of the map.
So much control to play with for Astralis at the start of this round. These second round buys can be so incredible if you get that bomb planted. 3 rifles in play for Heroic. They're going to be taking their time. It's a slower round from them. Liv and Essetag maintain the control at ramp. They don't give it up, and they have a Molotov to delay this. And now Heroic going to be sending their players in towards A. Liv needs to get the timing of this Molotov right. It's going to go down, but it's the spray on the MP9. The UMP trying to get through as well. They probably would have liked 2 kills there. They probably needed them. As now Magisk, the pressure falls onto him. Can he shut down this attack into the A bomb site? Heroic throwing the utility up. The smokes, the flashes, the Molotovs rin on in. And now the play comes through under the B bomb sites. dupreeh holding on. Nico going down to the MP9. dupreeh, just a couple of bullets left, and he still makes it work. Switches to the sidearm of the USP, and it's not enough to take down Cadian. A little chance here for Heroic, but they have to go for the bomb plant immediately, and they've come off the angle. They're going to go for elimination. He needs the kill, and that's the opportunity gone. Magisk falls away. What a chaotic round again, right down to 1 player surviving for Astralis. And Heroic, they call for their tactical timeout. It's actually Heroic's first.
Oh, it's much needed as well. They're not going to be happy with how that round played out. Overcomplicating things, perhaps. They get the 2 kills towards A. I think Heroic maybe mind-gamed themselves, though, because Astralis' initial setup there, pushed into the ramp, didn't feel like it was going to be that strong, right? You've got 2 SMGs holding close by, Glaive trying to throw the molly down. Heroic win those trades, which I think was kind of to be expected, seeing how those fights played out. But then I think Heroic may have assumed that they were going to be running into a full stack on the A site. Because of that early aggression, there's always the chance that Astralis have being sneaky and full stacking the A site. So they try and go back to B, and that's where Astralis just win one of the most Astralis rounds you'll see. They should not have won that one, but they managed to get it off the back of the time. They managed to get the round. And now, it's anyone's game in this next one. Astralis have a couple of rifles. Heroic only have the one AK, but the buys aren't that dissimilar. It's pretty close between them.
Yeah, as it was in the last round as well, if you think about it. It has been a pretty similar story. A lot of similarities between the first half few rounds and the first few rounds of the second half. And Astralis won that battle of attrition. Now, Heroic looking to pull it back. It is more expensive to be a CT on average. So Astralis want to build up as much money as possible. They not only want to win this round, but they want to limit the casualties. They don't want to hemorrhage any cash. Well, as the target is going to go down, Liv will fall back, but he has to do some work here. They couldn't do anything in the last round, and he's been pretty quiet. He's 7-11 right now. I feel like there's some sort of fast food restaurant joke there, but I'm not going to do it. Imagine.
This is Europe, Dinko.
Yeah, exactly. No, a lot of people probably don't know what it is. And well, it's going to be cadian. And a good spot. Hoping for some aggression from Astralis to swing on by. He is ready for it. But Astralis sitting back. 4 versus 5. A man down into the round with 30 seconds left, Alex.
Another slow one, but Magisk is on an aggressive angle. Not anymore, though. cadian wipes him clean out on the round. Great flash from Device to be able to trade back, and Device doubles down on the bomb site. 2 rifles still alive from Astralis, but can they deny that bomb plant? I don't think so. Heroic are going to get the bomb down, but Astralis still have the rifles ready to try this retake.
Yeah, there's a kit on the site, but there's none on the 2 players currently alive. No utility either, so this is going to be a very difficult retake. They can't force cadian out of position. They can't smoke off the bomb. They have to go towards that kit as well if they want to pick it up, and a little bit of time left on that clock. So this is starting to look rough for Astralis, and I think they're starting to consider their options and realize there's not too many of them. They're going to save, they're going to fall back, and Heroic, well, that's an important round for them. They're going to tie things up, and they don't let Astralis just walk away with things.
Both teams fighting hard at the start of this half. Astralis do save 2 guns, but the rest of the team really strapped for cash here. The problem for Astralis could be that with a $1,900 loss bonus right now, even if you just save this round, your players aren't necessarily going to have that much money. So maybe they're going to get tempted into the force buy. We're seeing them slowly make up their minds, and they do go for the full investment. That's up against all rifles from Heroic as well. 1 Galil in there, but AKs for the rest of the squad. The Device only has the Deeg holding mid early. Heroic have a couple of players here. Device spotting out the early information and deciding to fall back. Looks like we won't get any fights early into this round. But Astralis right now at breaking point in this one. If they lose this round, Dinko, Heroic should be able to reclaim control of this first half.
Slow approach from Heroic. No one wanted to be the player that gives an early kill away. Very tentative approach from Astralis as well. No one wanted to get aggressive. They don't really have the weapons for that right now. And dupreeh, he's got the one of the 2 premium rifles in play right now for Astralis. Go down here with the AK. It's Bort that gets the kill onto Device, spamming through the wood. Now with 43 seconds left, Heroic, well, the map is theirs to play with. They're going to be turning their attentions back over towards A. Looking to finish on this bomb site. Currently, Esatag over here alongside Magisk. And this A hold has been a little bit weak for Astralis. A couple of times they went down without a single kill. A couple of times they conceded it very easily. Now 20 seconds left. Heroic are sending their troops over here, looking to try and impact on this A bomb site. They run forward. Borup so good at finding those opening kills. It's actually Nico that's picked it up, and Glyph, well, he's come through. Esatag, oh, getting a double spring through the smoke, trying to connect onto more, and they're so low in HP. Esatag can still win this round, but he's still sticking with a USP. He'll go for the reload, takes a deep breath, and gets right back into the right frame of mind. He'll move forward. And now jumping up on top of the side. Take note of the lack of kit. Take note of the lack of utility. He's got to force these fights, and they're not giving him a single chance to win this. Estetite will tap and try and pull them into the open, but this round is still perfectly played in the late round from Heroic. They've got this in the bag. Estetite, a nice few kills, but that's all he'll find in the round. Heroic will take the lead.
And to everyone watching at home, that is how you play that scenario if you are on the T side. Heroic don't give him a single fight. He never gets a chance to try the clutch Dinko. He's looking all over the place. He's trying to clear out these angles. And Heroic are just constantly repositioning, constantly finding safety. Estetag did such a great job to begin with as well. Sitting in the smoke, he nearly denied the bomb plant. That could have made all the difference. I thought we were about to get another one of those Astralis specials right there, where they run around, they have no right at winning. But instead, Heroic stand strong, Heroic stay on top. Now Astralis have to go for this full save. And this economy is really important for Astralis, Dinko. They've gone for the full save here. But the reason they normally find so much success on their CT side of this map is thanks to the double AWP setup. They really like to get dupreeh that AWP as much as possible. Sometimes he even takes the AWP instead of device. I mean, in the last game between these two teams, dupreeh went 13 for 1 on the CT side, in big part thanks to getting that AWP into his hands. So that's what Astralis is saving for here. There's not much investment into this round, and it looks like Heroic have figured this one out. They've spotted some early players at A. They're trying to see if they can make it back to B in time, although I think Astralis may arrive first on these rotates.
Well, Nico has taken down Magic, Down taking away Gliv's life, and following up for the double as well. These pistols not really ever expected to do much. It was more of a formality that this round had to be played out. 11 rounds on the board for Heroic, and like you said, here comes the important one for Astralis. They'll be getting the buyout. They will not have that AWP unless Estetite decides to go for it, and I just don't think he will be picking that AWP up for a device. So this should be the M4 coming out and the utility on board for him. I mean, there is weaknesses here for Astralis. Take a look at this buy. Number one, they don't have the AWP. Number two, the utility is in a pretty dire spot right now. They don't have much of it to play with.
And in particular, no kit for Astralis, which could definitely be a cause for concern as this round goes on. Early mid-smoke, which has a pretty big gap in it. Magisk is able to move up close. We've seen some flashes popped into these B stairs throughout this game. There's definitely the potential for that at some point in this round. But Heroic seem to have got the early map control that they would have wanted. They've taken B stairs, they've taken most of A ramp, but there's the flash we were waiting for. dupreeh comes so close to getting that kill. Nico, a little lucky to be alive there, down to 30 health now, as a nade tickles him even further. But oh, Tessus has got the entry on A. Cadian almost gets another, and Tessus is there to back him up. Two huge entries onto the A site, as Astralis is scrambling to get back into position.
Yeah, well, man down here for Astralis as well on the defense. They'll be looking for this retake, but no kit, like you said, at the start of this round. And while Tessus is going to catch out Cliff, just diving through the smoke. Oh, Astralis, they're desperate right now, and Heroic are going up to 12 rounds. Astralis will have to save again. It's Magisk, and it's dupreeh having to save their rifles into the next one. And it's going to be 12 rounds for Heroic. And I have to say, Alex, it feels like Astralis at certain points have just been lacking firepower across the board as well. There's moments in towards A where Gliv probably should have done a little bit more. I feel like there's definitely a lot of those moments across the board. You know, Magisk is having a very quiet map right now as well in terms of individual performance, 7 and 15. This is a bit of a problem, especially with Heroic showing up across the board. Kidding is 21 and 10. Test is having 3Ks. Borps had some huge entries. This team are popping off right now on an individual level, and Astralis haven't been able to match that.
Absolutely. Tessus has been one of the real surprises on this Heroic team, right? Playing an aggressive role a lot of the times, often that first or second man in. He's really good at occasionally just cracking those bomb sites with massive multi-kills, massive impact in that last round there. And you know what, Dinko? The surprising thing here is this Heroic roster is so stacked that Stown and Nico are technically the two highest rated players on this team in the last 3 months, but they're both bottom of the board right now.
Yeah, this Heroic team, they just have every single individual player is good at Counter-Strike. There's no one that you kind of look at and are saying, okay, he's a bit of a liability when it comes to the individual firepower department. Everybody can show up in this Heroic team, and that is very exciting to watch. when you have all the pieces and you have all the role players as well, and that all combined, you get a wonderful package of firepower that Heroic put on display today. 12-9 in terms of the score, but it is a 4v4 in round 22. Magisk and Nico getting kills for the respective teams. Now with under a minute left, Heroic are turning their attentions back over towards B. Glaive is going to be tested. He was on the A bomb start a little bit earlier on, but now over towards B. Looking to see what he can do in this round. Smoke goes down, another push comes forward. Tested, going to be the front man into the charge, and Glaive trying to hold on. He hasn't seen anybody just yet. He hasn't been given a chance, and Cadian has just got to take him down. A 3v4. Astralis are falling like flies. That's the target device left alone, and there's nothing they can do here.
It was the half investment for Astralis, for what it's worth. They only had the 2 rifles, really, alongside the pistols. So it's not completely crazy that they lose this round, but it looked like they may have had a chance after the early trades. Not meant to be, though. As you said, Glaive isolated on that B site. Hasn't been playing there too often. He tried to drop that smoke. He didn't play it badly. It was just that Heroic was so quick at closing the distance. Yeah,
there was just so many players coming in from so many different positions. Glaive was trying to catch off the players running towards the site, but never really was given that opportunity. And now they have lost Esatag as well. It is just Device saving that AK. I feel like Astralis need a big hero player. I feel like they just need one of those big rounds from them to reinvigorate this roster. We've been down and out, I feel, from the first half, really. It feels like Heroic have definitely had a few hiccups, a few hurdles they haven't been able to get over. But those are just little outliers in terms of the rounds that Astralis have been able to win. Other than that, Heroic, they've looked so comfortable here on Vertigo.
Well, this is that double up setup for Astralis I was talking about, Dinko. dupreeh previously was so good on this B site, but he's missed the shot. Oh no, the B site is wide open now. Nico moving in, unable to get the kill. Glaive gets 2 on the trades. Back to a 3 versus 3, and Heroic slow things down slightly.
Yeah, the utility forcing them to slow it down, and now they will go forward. It's very important that Glaive gets a double there, but Stown has done it again. 2 kills for Stown in this round, 12-9. What a beast. A Device is left alone. There's nothing he can do here. It's all about saving that AWP. And like you highlighted, it was a double AWP investment. Device holding on. He could even go down here. He will take the kill into Stown. Repositions back over towards CT. But again, back to the point, the double AWP setup, such a huge investment for Astralis. And it gets nothing done. dupreeh misses that shot, is immediately punished. Glaive does well to find 2 kills, but they find nothing other than that, shall I say. And well, Heroic are up 14-9. The money is gone again for Astralis. And we are getting into a stage of a question of Astralis, can they get back into this, Alex? Is there enough room for them to wiggle their way back into this game? At this point, I think not. I think Heroic, it just looks so damn good.
Yeah, it felt to me like that would have been the round that Astralis would have won if they were going to come back into this. When they had the double AWPs, when they had that opportunity, but Heroic just upped the pace. dupreeh misses the 1 shot, and instantly Heroic makes them pay for it. Remember, this was a 9-9 scoreline as well, Dinko. This has been a real streak that Heroic have put together on this T side. A very impressive streak at that. You pointed out some of the individual performers. Cadian at the top of the board is always a good sign for this Heroic squad. As someone who makes a lot of their calls, as someone who's very vocal on this team, you can see Cadian talking to his teammates now, making sure that everything is on point, because they know they are just 2 rounds away from taking their map pick and trying to keep this Danish rivalry alive.
If Heroic close this in this fashion, this is definitely where you can start to consider this.
We'll wait for the rest of the series, but it's exciting for sure.
A super exciting series. And well, Heroic, 2 rounds from victory. And Astralis, 4 rifles in play, 157 for Glaive, and Device with the AWP at the ready with Heroic to start to send their players through. The bomb. And there's A side testers. Oh, this is going to be a risky battle, but Device is not able to get the kill. Another player that has been extremely quiet by his own standard here, Device. Feels like he hasn't had a kill in a very long time. He had it in the previous round, but that was just an exit frag onto Stown. No real impact being delivered. And now there's just over a minute left on this clock, and One of the first times in a while, hasn't been a kill, and as soon as I say that, dupreeh takes down Nico. Opening kill for Astralis.
That's where Astralis are finding a lot of these early frags as well, with those flashes in towards B. Glaive would have loved to have got that gun as well. He only has a 5-7 in this round, but that's what he's going to stick with. While the rest of Heroic begin to group up around this A site. Still lots of nades for Astralis, though. They've got counter smokes. They've got counter mollies and flashes. They've got players stacked on this site. This is a good chance for Astralis on the whole.
Molotov down, and now the attack coming in. It's Device delivering a shot. He'll get a second as well. Essetide to the smoke is taken down. And it leaves Cadian alone, and he'll fall to Glaive on the 5-7. 10 rounds for Astralis. That's a very important round to win. Heroic have no money problems, but Astralis at this point just desperately need the round. So now they've got that double up setup back in play. This is a good round from Device, finally having some impact. You know, he has been extremely quiet so far in this series.
Oh my god, the MAC-10s. The MAC-10s. They have so much money, Dinko, and 3 MAC-10s.
This is Heroic all over it.
This is
Here
fast.
Charging out middle as well. Estetide's going to be trying to hold on. Estetide, he will get one, but Cadian swings on by. Magisk with a double headshot. At least that's something. It won't be too chaotic right now, but a 2v2. Oh, this is just crazy across the board. Heroic just sent the MAC-10s to their deaths early on. And these AKs now left alone. But both players are extremely low in HP. And even more damage done onto Stown. Test is bringing the bomb over. We have a moment to catch our breath in this absolutely mental round. And Astralis, it's a double kill from Magisk that has put them into a solid position. I feel like if he didn't shut them down, that if he goes down even after one, Heroic will just have too much control over the round. They're going to bring that bomb, they're going to get it planted, and now 2v2 can play out.
I didn't think Furia were in Europe yet, Dinko, but apparently the SMG play onto the B site comes through. Device is still on this flank, though. They still have some nades in his hands. More importantly, he could still be in an unexpected position. Magisk taking the attention while Device takes the kill from behind. It's up to Stown, looking for the headshots. He needs the quick kills, and he's not going to get them. Astralis makes sure to win the retake. Even when it's MAC-10s running at them, they keep their cool for another round win.
That's pretty nuts, though, that Heroic are able to pressure them that hard with MAC-10s. I love it as well. It's such a different approach to Counter-Strike from Heroic. You have the money available for the full buy, but you just decide, no, we're going to go 3 MAC-10s into this round. We're going to run a super fast play and try and catch Astralis off guard. They think they've got one round on the board. They think this is their way back into things. Unfortunately for Heroic, it doesn't pan out the way they wanted. You see how much pressure they had to apply there at the end. Astralis had to focus up, and Device, that's a lit peek in towards ramp, and Cadian is going to take the frag.
Cadian is now 6 for 7 in his opening duels. He's won 6 out of his 7 early fights. He's been getting them into a lot of these rounds. It would be very fitting if he got them into the round, which got them to map point as well. Man advantage taken, and it's even extended upon. Magisk finally able to trade, but Heroic have the advantage.
Well, they have a huge advantage, a 2-man advantage. Magisk is going to pull one back at least for Astralis. It's within touching distance as they hold on to the site, but it's down with a crucial headshot. It's all on dupreeh. 1 versus 3. He's on the other end of the map. So, not fancying his chances here. Gonna be the safe call from dupreeh on that M4. Most likely, of course, no kit, no utility. It's all about just staying back in spawn and staying in a safe position. But Heroic, they'll reach map point on Vertigo, Alex.
15 it is. Heroic have it. All but guaranteed. I said earlier, yeah, that I thought last time out, Heroic probably should have won that Vertigo game. I think it was more just Astralis kind of breaking them mentally than anything else. But here, even when Heroic are in that position where they maybe could start to struggle to close out the game, where they could start to choke, they've not let it falter. They've let it come on through.
Yep.
They've got their 15th round, but Astralis is still in this.
I have to say, it just is that MVP performance from this man on your screen. Cadian getting that opening kill on the Device. This one is so quick. And now we get into things. Round 27. Could this be the round Heroic close Vertigo? We'll be heading to train a little earlier than Astralis would have hoped. Who knows? We'll find out in this round. And Heroic sending their players early towards this A bomb site. Multiple players walking this way. Astralis throwing that early utility. But Heroic are just going to keep walking up. Tessus and Borup. 2 front men for this Heroic roster.
This A-site hold has struggled at times. This time it's Device and Magisk. It's a slightly different CT setup, and Device is ready. Magisk also getting one of his own. Finally, Borup trades, and now Device is trapped. He has to fight his way out of this, but he's got a second kill, and it's only cadian left alive. A 1v3 Dinko. This man has been brilliant, but surely this is a step too far.
Yeah, I think this might just be a little too far for cadian, but we won't count him out just yet. We'll see if he can pull it off, and he's caught in the open. 12th round for Astralis. And I feel Heroic were just trying to get away with too much there. They just kept walking up the ramp. They were playing contact the whole way up to the site. And they were just given so much by Astralis. And Heroic, you sort of have to cut your ties at some point and realize, okay, now we just have to execute. Now we just have to go into this site. They kept walking up contact, and that's exactly where Device and Magisk were able to pull them apart.
Wow, that is a fun stat. Every Heroic versus Astralis series since 2016 has been a 2-0 either way. I mean, that goes back to that mental game I was talking about, Dinko. The fact that there have been so many 2-0s between these two organizations, obviously different lineups coming throughout, but still, that is a really cool stat to have.
Yeah, and of course, this version of Heroic probably much more deadly. I would assume that a lot of those other 2-0s were in favor of Astralis. But yeah, now it becomes very exciting because now we've got Heroic able to beat Astralis 2-0. But not overall. You know, that was a little bit of an outlier. We'll see if they can turn it into consistent success. Well, it's dupreeh taking things in Astralis' direction. Nico going down early on with his B aggression paying off for Astralis. Oh, Clive as well through the smoke. Borup, the next victim of Heroic, and this is not the start they would have been looking for. And this is the round where their economy is actually on the ropes.
Ooh, down, forced away by the flash, had to turn his back, and that's going to be costly. dupreeh's pushed all the way through B as well. Oh, does dupreeh spot the bomb here? I don't think he did, but I don't think it matters. It's a 5v2 for Astralis. They've got Heroic completely locked in. Now, Device hasn't spotted cadian crossing, so cadian's able to sneak up slightly, but dupreeh's still on this flank. There's just no way. There is no way in hell that Heroic win this round, Dinko. Another shot for Device. cadian this time left in a 1v5, which he won't win. And as you pointed out, that money for Heroic has finally run dry. They bought the Mac 10s to keep their economy strong. It's not strong enough, though. They're going to have to take a save, and it's looking likely that we might be going all the way to round 30.
Yeah, that's the most likely outcome right now. Well, this is
it's
pretty much it's confirmed. It's confirmed to be round number 30, Alex. That's why I'm going out. It's going to be a real risky prediction. 30 rounds we play here, Alex.
What, you don't think Astralis are going to lose to 3 Glocks and 2 P250s?
You know,
no?
I don't think so. I just don't think so, Alex. But this is pretty crazy, right? I counted out Astralis a little bit earlier on. To an extent, I said, you know, at this point, Heroic are looking so comfortable, they should be able to close this out. But I've learned the lesson again. You just don't count out Astralis, ever. They can get right back into things no matter what. I like that they're taking this as a bit of a pause right now, just talking over what they want to do heading into this next round. They realize this round will be conceded. But it's so important that Heroic try and close this here.
That's the thing when you're playing against Astralis, right? You can never let anything slip. You can never let a single round go past you, because that might be the round that actually costs you the game, even when you're really far behind. Heroic kind of felt that firsthand when they had, I think, a 12-6 lead on Vertigo last time, and they ended up losing the game. They know that this team are really difficult to play against. So I agree. Taking this as a full timeout, just a time to calm down, to talk things over. We even heard Maui pointing out on the desk how throughout his career, cadian's been a pretty streaky AWPer. So we're not expecting anything out of this round. We're really looking at the next one. But let's see if Heroic can try and make it competitive.
Well, they probably won't, Alex. That's the...
They can try, Dinko.
That's
they
the
can
likely
try.
outcome. Here comes the Nito. Clive looking to spray it down, and it's done. It's a very quick round in the end there from Astralis. They clean it all up. 14 on the board for Astralis. And we head into round number 30. Heroic, they will have the money available to them, either overtime or they close it here. We pack things up, we head to train. Heroic, I have to say, They will be feeling the pressure here. Astralis have brought them right to the brink. Even though Astralis look like a wounded beast, they don't quite look like the full team we know they're capable of being. This is still a team that you have to fear. They're coming right back into things. Now 1 round away from pulling it to overtime. I have to say, I think this A bomb site adjustment with Magisk and Device playing, ever since they did that, I feel like this A bomb site has been so difficult to take.
dupreeh's decided not to go for that AWP either. I wonder if that comes back to one of those missed shots earlier. He's sticking with the AK. It could also be because he's fairly isolated on the B site right now. So having that AK is pretty much the perfect weapon if you want to try and get multiple kills from this quad spot. So that could definitely be a part of it as well. I love putting the AK in dupreeh's hands here, because if he gets tested on B, you want to give him the best possible chance to get multiple kills. He's now got assistance from Glaive as well, if required.
Ooh.
But Heroic are taking their time, Dinko. They're not giving anything away. Plenty of nades left for Heroic here. 55 seconds left. Astralis are holding their utility as well, though. But in comes the push to the B site. Or maybe not.
Well, they're taking their time. They're going to be setting up. They should be finishing on this B bomb site. And Glaive is going to go forward. He'll catch out Borb. He's given them a huge advantage into this round. Alex, the Astralis are a man up. And there's 35 seconds left. They've still got to get rid of dupreeh at the back of the site. But it doesn't matter if Glaive is just going to continue to shut them down. That's the second kill. And now dupreeh, they're not even looking this way. Astralis have managed to do it. They pulled it to overtime. And it's not even close in the final round. Astralis have done it. They've pulled it back. And now it's time for a break. Heroic desperately need to sit back, relax, and refocus as they go into overtime.
Out the oven, I'm piping hot. Get too close and you might get shocked. Told everybody sit back, just watch while I climb all the way to the top. Oh no, no, I can't just pass by, cause my electric glow, it shines too bright. And everywhere I go, I catch all eyes. They must have never seen a goddess in plain sight. Ooh, want too much for you. A whole lot of power in these high heel shoes. Ooh, shining how I choose, cause I rule the world and my girls do too. Too much for you. You're gonna need shades to enjoy this view. Ooh, shining how I choose, cause I rule the world and my girls do too. Excuse me while I take the floor. Spotlight shining, it's my show. And you gon' let me a little bit more, cause I got that electric glow. Didn't know it, now you know. Want you vibing with my flow. You ain't never gonna let it go. Once you see my electric glow. Fresh out the oven, I'm sparkling. Lighting up every room I walk in, so intelligent, all I do is win. Didn't hear me before, let me say it again. No, 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 I can't just pass by, cause my electric glow, it shines too bright. And everywhere I go, I catch all eyes. They must have never seen me light up the night sky. Ooh, want too much for you. A whole lot of power in these high heel shoes. Ooh, shining how I choose, cause I rule the world and my girls do too. Ooh, want too much for you. You're gonna need shades to enjoy this view. Ooh, shining how I choose, cause I rule the world and my girls do too. Excuse me while I take the floor. Spotlight shining, it's my show. And you gon' let me a little bit more.
Overtime begins. Astralis have pulled it back yet again. Never count out Astralis. Heroic were looking good, but it felt like there was just a resurgence of individual ability from Astralis and some rounds pulled out of the hat. Glaive closes it in the final, and we find ourselves here in overtime yet again, Alex. Each and every series against Heroic and Astralis, it's a close one. And Heroic are going to have to do this in a very difficult fashion if they are to take their map pick.
We've been keeping track of the AWPs on Astralis. dupreeh has gone back to that secondary AWP for this round. Glaver's got aggressive over towards B stairs as well. And there's no one here for Heroic right now.
I just want to point out as well, we are in the RMR rule set, right? So the Valve ruling for overtime is, it's not 16k, it's 10k. So you can see it, this double up setup is such a huge investment. Which is why there's no kits in play on device and dupreeh. They're going to try and keep as much money on board as possible. Though the $400 hardly makes a difference. It's all about winning this round. They have to pick this up. But they want to have strong economy. Well, the next few in this overtime, it can certainly become a problem on that CT side, especially if you wish to invest into this double op. Under a minute left in play already. A lot of time being used up in this slower approach from Heroic. You said it, Maui said it. Cadian can be a streaky op, but I feel like he's quieting down here. He hasn't been delivering quite as much as he was in the earlier stages of this game, so he's got to have some sort of reignition in his performance as Heroic look to finish on this A side.
Ooh, flash through, but Tessus gets the first kill. 1-for-1 trade, but Device is still here, and this angle is so strong for him. 2 kills for Device, playing this same position, and Heroic completely denied. Device with the 3k, and Tessus needs the A. Surely he can't get it. He gets another headshot, but dupreeh arrives with that secondary AWP, and Device is dishing out the damage on that A site.
I said it. He was a little bit quiet and unimpactful for most of this game, right? Then he's just had this resurgence on the CT half. On this A bomb site, as soon as he gets in that spot, he has just been unstoppable. There's been so many rounds where he's just found multi-kills over and over again. And they win the double up setup. They win the first round here in overtime on that CT side. And that does mean Astralis will be able to keep this double up setup that has proven to be so potent for them. Heroic now in a situation where they have not got off to the best of starts. They are starting to lose that momentum. I feel like Astralis have picked them off the driving, out of the driving seat, off the steering wheel, Alex. They're now into a far better position. And Heroic have got to face adversity. They've got to pull this back.
Another buy comes through for them. Back out for Cadian, AKs of course, but the money isn't fully there in their back pockets anymore. Normally on the T side, you're okay, at least, even if you lose both rounds, but that's not going to be on Heroic's minds right now. It's all about winning this next one. dupreeh taking this angle that sometimes you can get the pick in. Device also having a look into a ramp. No early pushes from Heroic yet. They've taken the B stairs control. A couple of early nades being deployed. Boost towards mid to clear out the construction position, but Esatag is playing up close and Magisk is here to back him up. The boost comes in for Cadian, but if he strays too far out, he might go down. He just about... No, he doesn't. He doesn't get away safely. Magisk burns him to a crisp. Now it's Stown's turn to try the AWP.
Oh, well, Stown has to deliver. He's quite the nifty player with his gun in his hand, and well, it's not going to work out. Magisk and dupreeh shutting it all down. Heroic yet again have just been dispatched with. That is not the round Heroic would have been looking for. Cadian getting a little unlucky. He was going for that risky play over the top of the boxes. The Molotov does not allow him safe passage back. And now Bora starts his 1 versus 5 affair. This doesn't look like a winnable campaign, and what? He'll get himself the first and the second, but he's got a player coming in from behind, and that's Device with the CZ putting him in his grave. 17-15, Astralis now looking for the flawless half. The money is in the bin for Heroic, and this is a big problem now, Alex. If they go down flawlessly to Astralis in this first half of overtime, I really do fear for their chances in pulling this back.
Borat being a team player, dropping the AK over to Cadian, who didn't have the money. He'll take the Tech 9 into this one. Astralis have the chance for the clean sweep in their first half of overtime. Stown going for this early mid play. Again, it's this same mid setup for Astralis. They're putting 2 players here at the start of the round, and Magisk baiting them into Esatag. It's Magisk who wins the first fight. Cadian trying to see if he can reply. He's very low on health, and Esatag continues to go forwards, but it looks like Heroic have at least got away with the 1-for-1 trade, at least for now.
Well, Tessus, he should be winning this battle. He had the advantageous position against Gliv in that aggression. And this is the round Heroic looked the most comfortable in. This is the round they look the most competitive in, Alex? How does this make sense? It doesn't make sense. That is the answer. And what Heroic with the weaker weapons managing to hold on to this man advantage, but they still are going to be tested by dupreeh on this B bomb site. Switches out to the 5-7, wins the fight against cadian, and now the push comes through. dupreeh repositions on the sidearm. He will not be able to get a follow-up kill as the target device. They're going to have to pull off a 2v3 retake of this B bomb site if they want a flawless half, and that is not too far off taking the kill, but Nico wins the aim duel against device, and the flank from Estetag, if it had been a little bit quicker, it would have been more useful, but now it is sought after. Nico takes him down. Estetag will fall, and it's 17-16.
That's a big deal for Heroic. Just getting that one-round win helps them so much. At least they're not in a position where they just have to play for the second overtime. At least they were able to get that one-round win through. This is where they have to try and recall what happened in that first half, though, Dinko. We switch sides again, and now it's Heroic's turn to try and rock that double AWP setup. You said earlier, Stown can be pretty nifty with that sniper. He has got the AWP in his hands, while Astralis decide not to go for an AWP on their T side. They're happy to stick with the 5 AKs for the T side of Vertigo. As we get back into the action, let's see where those AWPs go early. cadian has been getting some early kills with the AWP. Not so much here in overtime, though. Early smokes down. TeSeS unable to really see too much. There's maybe a slight gap, Dinko. I'm squinting. I'm trying to see if I can see anything. I'm not sure it's going to matter too much because Astralis is still sitting back.
Astralis have been tentative on their T side, but they've got that opening kill. That's TeSeS going down, and now Nico, he's in a position where he could be caught out. Device is going to take him down, and now it's cadian having to do a lot of work. Magisk doesn't have a Molotov, but that HE grenade does so much damage onto cadian. He's down to 17. Stown has taken down Estetag. It's still 3 versus 3, but look at that HP on the CT side. borup, oh, nearly gets caught in transition. He will still get the kill onto Glaive, and that gives the man advantage to Heroic. And as dupreeh swings onto the B-bomb side, he's been spotted, but still wins the aim duel. And now dupreeh and Magisk, they're looking to pull the round off. dupreeh having to do most of the work into this B-bomb site, but he's not been able to do much more than that initial kill. So it's Magisk now trying to close the round. He did damage onto cadian with that HE grenade previously over on the A ramp, but now he needs to finish off the job. cadian coming in with a flank. Magisk not aware. He's not turning this way. Oh, might just get lucky on the timing, though. He's crossed by safely, and cadian has not spotted him. 25 seconds. Magisk climbing construction. Does he go back to A, or does he take this fight? He's stopped by cadian, who comes up from behind. Magisk not expecting the flank, and it's 17-17 as cadian pulls off the clutch on low HP.
That round is just a brawl, Dinko. I'm not even going to try and break it down. It's just fights everywhere. It's just all about the 1v1s, and cadian keeps his cool in the one-on-one scenario. I thought for a second that Magisk was going to slip by him, but cadian still gets the kill. And you better believe that cadian is getting hyped up right now, getting fired up on the comms. TeSeS getting aggressive early. The spray through successful. He might get the chance for a second. Device is up on this angle, but TeSeS wants to go for even more here. He sees the smoke being thrown. He's playing behind it, and he's got the second kill. TeSeS now with the AK wants to go for more. He's still behind them. He's nearly got the third, but finally, Glaive puts an end to the madness.
Yeah, finally someone stopped him. TeSeS just having a great time at the start of this round, shutting down 2 players from Astralis. And now a 3v3 plays out. Glaive down to 1 HP. cadian takes down Device. And this round suddenly looks so good for Heroic. It's unbelievable the fact that Heroic are looking like the team that would be taking map point first in
B's
overtime.
clear.
But B is certainly cleared. Look at dupreeh's position. He's pushed up all the way past generator. borup needs to be aware of this. Once you've conceded that position, you have to be aware of this possibility. But will he expect dupreeh to come from this side? It comes down to the timing. Remember, Glaive is on 1 HP, so a lot of the heavy lifting has to be done by dupreeh here. There's still a man down into the round. So even if that bomb goes down, they've still got that 3 versus 2 retake. So that has to be the call. Bomb will get planted. Heroic should just wait for everybody to get congregated and ready to go in together. Use that man advantage. dupreeh like I said, has to do the heavy lifting here, has a good angle to deal with the initial aggression. Still utility is available. Stan goes around the corner, he'll go down. dupreeh nearly doubles up, but he's shut down by borup, and now it's all on Glaive. 1 HP to try and win the 1v2. He's got the Molotov, trying to delay, trying to run down the time, but it's borup with the HE grenade coming through. The smoke for the Molotov, the defuse coming through. It's going to be close, but Heroic have pulled it off. It's 18-17. It's map point for Heroic yet again. Can they close it this time, Alex? They've only got one chance.
Yeah, and I thought Astralis were going to use their nades more proactively there in the post plant. They had smokes. They had 2 mollies. I thought they might try and lock Heroic out and buy a bit more time and maybe get that reposition, because even though dupreeh was in the advanced angle, Glaive was on 1 health on the site. So unless dupreeh got all those kills, that was always going to be the most likely outcome. And now it's Heroic who have fought strong and almost had the chance for the opening in this last round of the first overtime. Down fires wide on the first attempt. Tag holding back. Heroic were maybe thinking about going for some aggression. cadian is still playing this close range angle.
Oh,
Looking
no!
for the fight. Oh, the quick switch almost cost him. It might be time to bail out, but Nico goes aggressive. 1-for-1 trade on the ramp. And maybe it's time for this to all calm down, Dinko. I'm getting a little nervous.
Yeah, things need to slow down. If you're nervous, imagine what Heroic are feeling right now, trying to close this. Astralis, 4 players still alive. 4 players still towards this A-bomb site. Plenty of utility. Tessus, the player that had such an impact round in the previous, this time alive in the late round. We'll see what he can do on this A-hold. Glaive runs over the top. He's in the smoke. He's going over the top of the boost, and he shut down cadian, and he gets away. It's a magic trick. No one even seen Glaive. No one knows where he's gone. And Astralis have the man advantage. Going for the bomb plant. Tessus jumps. And it's not going to be working out. Down with the kill on the AWP. Tessus trying to follow suit. Nipping at the heels of the players falling back. But it hasn't been enough to make this round favorable for Heroic. They still have to push forward for this retake. Astralis have utility, the flash going up, the peak from Glaive, but it hasn't worked out. Tessus with the kill, traded back from dupreeh, and it's chaotic in the last few moments of this round, but Astralis look to delay. There's no smoke for the Molotov. The time will tick on by, and dupreeh is still alive, still finding kills, and now 1 versus 1, Device versus Down, and the missed shot is not going to be going in favor of Heroic. They cannot win this round, and we go again. It's overtime number 2 coming right up.
My God. These teams are fighting hard here, aren't they? They're putting everything on the line on Vertigo. I thought Tessus might be able to deny that bomb plant as well. I don't think they realized that Tessus was in that position, but in all the chaos, he ends up jumping. He must have accidentally hit that button, and that means the spray had no chance of denying the plant. It wasn't on to begin with, but maybe he could have readjusted. Instead, it's not going to happen, and now it's another overtime on the cards. Heroic sticking on that CT side. Who even knows what we're going to see in this second overtime at this point? Surely the teams have pulled out everything they have on this map. Surely it just comes down to finding the rounds, just grinding them out in any way possible. We've got the boost going early for Heroic. 1 man behind the sandbags. Device is not happy. He's shooting that. What even is that?
A pin bucket, I think, maybe. Yeah, well, Nico, he is going to be forced off the boost. Right now, Heroic have taken the initial damage. Astralis, with 1 minute and 5 seconds left, still have plenty of time to work this round in their favor. They still have utility, but cadian looking for his 31st kill. An aggressive peek, shuts down Device. He's going to go back for more. cadian with a quick shot on the second. He will go back for a third, and that's a little greedy. He will be punished for it. Glaive shuts down borup, and now a 3 versus 3. 48 seconds in play. Emotions on the line here for Heroic. You can see they're fired up. They're confident to take a lot of fights, but they need to curb them a little bit, right? They can't be going for those repeats time and time again. You can get away with it twice. That's incredible. A third time, not going to happen.
Yeah, cadian thought he saw his name in the stars there, but maybe he just saw an Astralis round, because it's into a 3v3. Astralis can go back to B. 20 seconds left on the clock. Down still has full nades. That could help him on this hold.
Down, holds on. Oh, Glaive jumps around the corner, and that's going to offset the crosshair of Down. He cannot take the kill. He'll miss the shot now. 5 seconds to go for the plant. They're going to get it done. Magisk with an important kill. dupreeh following up as well. And these rounds are so damn close, but it's Astralis edging them out back to back now. Tessus moving forward into a 1v3. There's still smokes up. He still has a kit. the chance of winning this round is incredibly slim. And Testis, he's not given anything. Astralis will be winning this round. He'll go down 19-18. Astralis head into the lead again. What a game, Alex. Just a reminder, it's day one of the groups.
It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it's day one of the groups, honestly. The intensity of this matchup, you can just feel how much it means for both of these teams, right? And this is a matchup we could maybe have later in the tournament as well,
Exactly.
which is such an exciting prospect.
Yeah, this is a very deciding matchup for the rest of how this group will play out, right? You have a look at this group overall. It's G2 and Endpoint. These two teams are the strongest teams in the group, no question right now. So this is the deciding matchup, and we get it straight away in day one.
How is Nico here? How is Nico here? We haven't seen much aggression from Heroic.
That's the bomb as well.
Watching for it. Ooh, almost the kill. Not quite this time for Nico, but everyone from Astralis turning their backs, and they get the kill. Nico doing damage, but not securing the frags. Such a shame for Heroic, because it looked like it was going to be the play that made the difference.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. Astralis turned it around. Now they've got a two-man advantage into this one. Now they can slow it down. They're in a very comfortable position. Cadian going aggressive. He will not be able to pick anything up. Glaive comes back through with a headshot. And out Borpin's down. A 2 versus 5. Utility being used up in towards the site. 50 seconds on the clock. And Astralis have such a strong position right now.
Gotta be a save.
It has to be at this point. Heroic have no chance of pulling this off, and the money is in the bin. Astralis will be heading to a 20th round. Stown goes down. Every weapon that they lose decreases their chances of success, and it's Astralis now 2018, around a year we all took for granted, it seems. And now for Heroic, the money is in the bin, heading into this last round of the half in OT number 2. Starting to get really worried for this Heroic team now. How many times can they pull it back? How many times can they win when they're facing adversity, Alex? This is a true test of their mentality.
Yeah, if you've got some sort of pocket strategy, if you've got some sort of new play that you've got in mind, this is the time to pull it out. You don't have the weapons. You don't have the chance to win just on the individual duels, and we're already seeing that. Device gets the first. Nico, knife out in the smoke. Oh my god,
no.
Device is still sitting here. They don't know how close they are. They just touched. They touched in the smoke, but Device is the one who comes away with it. 2 kills for him, and only 3 more needed for Astralis to take every single T round in this second OT.
Yeah, this is going to be a 21-18 scoreline. If Astralis can just close these final few kills, and it's looking locked in now. It's just Borp, and he'll go down 21-18. Astralis, they keep edging these rounds out, and now if you're Heroic, well, this would be just unbelievable if they were able to pull this back and get this under their belt. This has been a heartbreaking showing for Heroic. They've had so many map points, but Astralis every single time have pulled it back. And now they have 3 opportunities, Alex, to take this one away.
If you're going to shoot for the king, Dinko, you can't miss. You can't miss those chances when you get the chance to close out the game, or Astralis will come right back at you. And we're seeing that in full force here. Astralis with 3 map points on Vertigo. Heroic sleeping a little bit at the start of this round. Not a bad idea to keep it slow after those previous rounds went so against them. I like this boost as well. They've done this a couple of times. Glaive might be ready for it, but you can slide out, you can get a fair fight, and it's more than a fair fight. Glaive's down to 22 health from that one.
Oh, look at the nade,
Nice
though.
nade, yeah.
So much utility damage coming in from Astralis. That's going to force Stown and Nico back. Glaive somehow still holds the control of middle, even after being dropped down to 22 HP. Forced away by that duel on top of the boost. Now with under a minute left, Heroic are turning their attentions back over to this A site. Astralis are going to have to hold on. This can be the win for Astralis. This can be Vertigo going their way. The map pick of Heroic falling through their fingers after so many map points. Estetai gets aggressive, a follow-up kill as well. Estetai shutting them down, but finally is gotten rid of by the hands of Tessis. And now Device going towards short, shut down by Nico. And the dream is still alive for Heroic. They're not down and out just yet, but there's 30 seconds left, and that bomb is alone towards short. Astralis have a chance to close it here, Alex.
Second smoke onto the site. Nico about to get that bomb planted. No more nades, no more bullets for Magis. But they're thinking of pushing through this. They've got the flashes. Tesses blind on the other side. Borup gets another kill. 3v2 for Heroic. Tesses still holding the line, still waiting patiently. Even more smokes to the site. And look at where the bomb is planted. It's not the best position here, but the kill comes through anyway. Glaive not going to get it done. Heroic stay alive, but they need more where that came from.
21-19, Heroic. First step in the right direction, Alex. Like you said, they need plenty more where that came from. If they are to pull this back to another overtime, if we are to continue this marathon.
For Astralis, though, right? They lose this.
Yeah, true. And it's a real possibility that Heroic could pull this back to another OT. And cadian and Nico, what a start! 2 opening kills. It's Glaive and dupreeh down early on into this round. And Astralis, they've got a lot of heavy lifting to do now. 5 players from Heroic stand against the 3 of Astralis just a couple of seconds into this round. Oh.
This could work. S-Tag 1v1 fight. You take those chances at this point in the round when you're down so heavily, but it's not a fight he wins this time. Device trying to see if there's any way back, if there's any kill in this one. But the more likely opportunity is more for the save. As we pointed out, the money not there for Astralis. They're going to have to play the odds here. They're going to have to try and see if they can save these 2 guns to give themselves the best possible chance in the next one. Otherwise, we could have another overtime. I'm not going to say it too soon, Dinko. I'm not going to jinx anything. There's a chance.
Hey, you don't want to be doing that. You'll get some angry fans in you, Alex, but Heroic.
Hey, I'm a fan of Heroic too, so I'll be angry at myself, okay?
Well, Magis holding on. He's got a good position for this. At least try and survive. He will take down Nico. He's stuck in a rock in a hard place, it seems now at this point. He's done well to find those 2 kills. The 3rd player behind him's down. He will just be too much to handle. Device at least saving the AWP most likely here. Should be no problems for Device. Getting that open to this next one was crucial for Astralis. They have a chance to win it now, but it's looking a little unlikely. They've had better opportunities, that's for sure, Alex. And Heroic now in a position where they could pull it all the way back. We could go again.
We absolutely could. Heroic full focus ahead of this round where Astralis have a couple of rifles. Device with the saved AWP as you were talking about. Early fights towards B. cadian flashed off the angle, but his teammates will take the position into the stairs. A bit of nade damage done onto Borup. Nothing too crazy though. And as it stands, it's 2 SMGs on the B bomb site. The push is about to come in. There's a bit of a stack here for Astralis. dupreeh up close, gets the first kill. It's actually S-Tag that stole it away, but they don't care. They're getting all the kills they need. Trade's continuing, but Heroic have to fight back.
Well, 3v4 is still a chance for Heroic, but looking unlikely with Glaive. But he's caught with a nade in his hand. S-Tag will get the trade back. A 2v3. A man advantage still here for Astralis as that Molotov deploys. You start to see the pressure building for Heroic. Have Astralis managed to pull this off? Heroic looking for one more round to go again in overtime. Device wrapping around the backside of the bomb site. He hasn't found the angle just yet. Borup is pushing up on this right side. Device, if he finds this kill, that might just be the punch that knocks out Heroic on Vertigo. And Borup around the corner, just biding his time. That bomb has fled the scene. It's going elsewhere. It's grouping up. And while it's coming back, at least try to fake it away, Alex. It's coming back. cadian now looking to regroup. There's only a couple of seconds left here. 26 on that board. Missed shot from Device. That's an opportunity now for Borup. The headshot comes through as Device goes down. And now a 2 versus 2. Molotov deploys towards construction. That'll keep S-Tag at bay. Magiskin behind him as well. And now it's a 2v2 retake. Can Astralis close this? Or will it be Heroic sending us to another overtime?
cadian getting up close. Borup holding the back line. Shots fired. Gives away his position. cadian up close. Gets the first headshot into the 1v1 for the game. Borup still holding back while Magis has to make the move. He knows where the man is. He's still trying to close in. He's still trying to go for the kill, but he can't find the angle. Borup buying the time and Borup landing the shot. We go again, Dinko. This game is not going anywhere.
We cannot find a victor, it seems. So many map points for both of these teams, and they haven't been able to take it over the line. Vertigo will not slip through Heroic's fingers, it seems. They keep pushing forward, and they've still got a tactical timeout. They've used it up here, Alex. They're going to be pulling it out.
That's mad.
That is so crazy that they've still got a tac timeout available. Over here for Astralis, it's a double op setup. You can see just walking around the room a little bit. Boy, put some refreshments in the fridge. He's got his Coke. He's ready to go.
This looks like a matchmaking game for Borat, man.
Like,
He's getting a drink, getting himself ready.
It's like, oh, next we go again. Overtime number 3. It's good to see the Heroic are calm and ready.
Get the replay at the end. I mean, this move from Heroic as well. How about that move to fake the bomb going back? Astralis bought it, hook, line, and sinker. And then Borat had to win that 1v1 fight, takes Device out of the round. Then it came down to even closer fights at the end. Heroic did everything right there to win that round, to pull themselves through, and to bring us into this position where we get another overtime. We are getting treated today, Dinko.
Double stack in middle from Magisk and Glaive right now. This is an interesting setup. One, Heroic will pressure. Now it's just Magisk looking for that initial kill. That's the bomb going down, and the first kill is Astralis to play with, but it's a quick trade from Cadian. Device looking for that info towards the bottom of the ramp. AWP scoped in, and now Heroic sending players out towards mid. We've got Cadian at the front line. They'll start to push forward. They had the initial setup with Glaive and Magisk both here, but now there's just Glaive left alone. Further back towards elevators, peeking down in towards middle. Heroic are going to send a couple of players this way, and Glaive is about to be pressured. Utility should come through, the smoke, the flashes. Molotov, in fact. And Glaive will have to throw his smoke. Now Heroic, perfect executing towards this mid position. Glaive is being completely manipulated into position, and they're about to walk through this smoke to A. This could work out for Heroic, but Astralis are aware of this possibility. They're looking for the spray down. Glaive gets the double kill and the bomb. And now it's Borp and Nico trying to scrap this round back. They'll find kills. It's Nico on the double, and now Esatag Device. Can they shut this round down? 10 seconds. Quick shot from Device. It's all on Nico, alone in a 1v2, and there's 9 seconds to play with. He has to sprint for the plant, and Esatag up on top. It's still a headshot, but there's no time to win the round, and Device just falls away. It's Astralis with 22 added to the tally, and Heroic yet another close round not going their way.
How are we seeing new T rounds from Heroic in overtime, Dinko? They've not done that before. They've not gone for that A play through mid. It is a very risky one, though, for that exact reason you see there. Device is just pushed up on short the entire time. He's not pressured from ramp. He's not pressured from the A side. So he can just sit on the site, spot for the bomb, and land a couple of important kills that make the difference in that round. Astralis kept the first round of the third overtime. The magic number we are now looking for is 25 for either of these two teams, and Device is out of there. What a shot from Tessus.
Esatag moving forward. Tessus and Nico with the kills. Crushing this round for Astralis. Glaive will try his best. He was the MVP in the previous round with his huge multi-kill. But in this one, no one from Astralis having their moment. It's Heroic that shut them out. Dupreeh and Glaive group up together, looking to see if these two M4A4s, as Heroic will tie things up yet again. We are even on the server, Alex. I think we're 1.5 hours in, maybe a little bit more than that at this point, maybe an hour and 45, and we are still on map 1. This has been a battle.
I don't think I believe in time anymore, Dinko. I don't think it exists. I watched Tenet, and now I'm just, I'm pretty sure I'm just in some, I don't even know what time I'm in. I feel like I've seen the same round so many times.
Well, that's unfortunate. Now it's Dupreeh. He will get into the next round. 22-22, tied up on the server. Heroic with the AWP out for Cadian. The AK-47's out with a plethora of utility. Take a look at Astralis right now.
Astralis have a timeout as well.
They had one left, yeah. Heroic still have a timeout left, I believe. So
they do.
That's pretty nuts. We are heading into the later stages of any match so far. And both of the teams still with timeouts available. This is a true battle. The kills, they're pretty similar across the board.
Yeah, cadian's still up there at the top, but not by far. Well, dupreeh getting a lot of early headshots.
Just looking at Astralis's buy coming into this round, Alex, you don't have much faith in it. When you look at this, it's not fantastic. Heroic should be favored to take this round. Astralis will see what they can muster with a FAMAS, an MP9, an AWP, and 2 M4s as they swing out middle at Sport with the initial headshot, shutting down Glyph, who's been so impactful from this position. cadian finding the follow-up as well. It's still doable for Astralis, having done the damage onto cadian. Keep eyes on the position of Esatag at the sandbags. He's still unchecked. He's unchecked still. NiKo about to walk into the line. Standish. Oh, Esatag will take the kill. Came a little close to that. He's able to pick it up, nearly shooting his own teammate. But cadian shutting down Device. It's a 2 versus 2. And this round again is a crazy one. But Heroic have found an avenue to the B-bomb site. They'll get that bomb planted. And now we're down to another scenario when it's a 2v2 retake for Astralis.
I'm so impressed with these mid-round calls from Heroic. They're making the right move every time. Now cadian just needs to land a shot, and he's got it all day, every day. And Esatag has 2 health. How is he going to win this?
Well, that's a question that he will look to try and answer. 2 health. And he'll check out the right side, pulls an air, crosses into the open, and Stown shuts him down. Heroic into the lead, heading into the second half now. Just by 1. 23-22. We're looking for the magic number of 25 right now, Alex. See which team can take this over the line. So Heroic need 2 more. Astralis still a chance to win here. Let's see, an uphill battle for the T side. 10k overtime has certainly contributed to a lot of these rounds. And a lot of the overtimes, I feel the money becoming a problem in the last few rounds of overtime has come through in pretty much every edition we've had here.
Yeah, it's certainly been a factor in some of these, that's for sure. And again, just touching back on that point that Heroic have been really impressing me in those sort of mid-round scenarios. The thing that's most impressive about that to me is that generally that's where the inexperienced teams struggle the most. You can maybe have a strat that gets you into the round. You can have some good ideas to begin with. You can practice those on the server. But those are sort of scenarios that are evolving as the game goes on. You have to get the right read on the situation in the moment, on the fly. And Heroic have been doing that in some of these T rounds, setting themselves up to only need 2 more on their CT side. Early fights, but Stown's been caught out. dupreeh gets the kill, even though he took the leg shot. Borat was up close, thinking about maybe going for something, but it looks like a clean pick for Astralis.
Yeah, Astralis off to a good start. Heroic. Taking a look at what the utility they have available, they still have so much of it. They can still delay this from Astralis. And this peek down towards mid, this is going to be one of the most decisive duels of this round so far. dupreeh's not going to actually end up having to take it. NiKo backs off, another rotation coming over towards A from Heroic. They have the utility at the ready. 54 seconds left. They look to delay this attack from Astralis.
50 seconds. Astralis don't have to commit, and there are so many nades on Heroic, as you said. Getting this bomb down is going to be a task, a challenge in and of itself, but Astralis want to see if they can get that bomb planted.
Well, the utility coming in. Glyph trying to get that bomb down, but it's denied by Borat. The HE grenade comes sailing in, and Glyph is shut down. Astralis will have to go and try and recover that bomb again. They've still got time to do it. They've got the man advantage as well still. And Heroic just biding their time. Now they swing on by. Texas with an important kill, but he's shut down by Device. Quickly following up, but it's NiKo coming through. Magis getting caught. dupreeh on 15. Device on 30. And this is a round that Heroic can certainly pull off in this retake. dupreeh and Device, elevated positions. Smoke goes onto the site. It's not quite covering the bomb fully. NiKo's going to try and touch it. That Molotov forcing cadian back, and the defuse trying to be stuck here for NiKo, but he's shut down by dupreeh. Astralis will be tying this scoreline up 23-23. We keep going. Nothing separating these two teams.
Ooh, dupreeh so close to dying to the bomb as well. Not that it matters that much. But it's all about that A exec. And I thought that Heroic were going to have a good chance on that retake, but they just took so much time getting towards the site. Nico was hoping he could maybe stick the bomb in the smoke, but dupreeh was just clinical with that kill. You're not going to catch Astralis out like that. And that means one of these teams needs both of these next upcoming rounds. Otherwise, we would have another overtime. Tessa's getting aggressive towards the ramp early. Smoke goes down. He's been able to get some kills off this smoke previously. This time, that won't be happening because Magisk has just taken him out through the smoke. Nice shot at the start of the round for Astralis. Another clean kill. Another clean 5v4 for this Astralis lineup. And we know how good they can be at converting these.
That's the tag. Towards the top of the B stairs, around the corners, Borb. Oh, he's going to whiff the spray, and that opens up an attack, an avenue in towards this B bomb site for Astralis. Glaive taking down Stown. Nico trying his best to scrap together what he can for Heroic, but Astralis have locked themselves in the B site. And it's looking like the round at this point. dupreeh just holding off cadian, who will take the kill, but Glaive is the second player there. He doesn't let cadian walk any further. Nico now forward, looking for the quick shot, but Glaive chops his head off, and it's 24-23. Astralis into the lead again, Alex. Map point yet again. One opportunity. Can they take us to train? This is map number 1. This is Heroic's map pick, and Astralis have brought it to map point again.
And Heroic's money is in trouble again. cadian gets the AWP out. Couple of FAMASs in there. MP9 for Stown and a Deeg for Borat. That is what Heroic are relying on to keep them in this game, and it's the wrong boost. Oh, no! Why are you doing that in overtime in what could be the last round? Dinko, Henry Greer may not be here, but I know what he'd say if he saw that play. What a blunder.
That certainly was. What a risky time to pull it out for Astralis. I mean, you gotta respect it. But I'm having a difficult time accepting it. Astralis not making it work. That man advantage handed to Heroic. And while cadian has shut down Glaive, we might just... Well, we're getting another overtime. Magisk and Estetag to the last 2 remaining players. And yet again, it's overtime coming right up. Estetag left alone in a 1 versus 5. And Astralis, what a weird round to pull out a run boost. What a weird round to pull out any risk. You were given the advantage in the economy. You were 1 round away from taking your opponent's map pick. And we head into overtime number 4.
You know, I think a normal Counter-Strike game, Dinko, it feels like a feature film. You know, you get a good start, a good middle, a good end. This is more like Lord of the Rings right now. This is a long, long game, and it really does come down to the endurance at this point. I mean, you can understand why teams go for that run boost, right? It gets you that early control towards B stairs. Yeah. It can be very successful at getting that early kill. It's just in that scenario, right? You know that Heroic's money is probably in trouble. I don't think you need to take that risk, but hey, that's what Astralis decide to go for. And now they've got to go into another overtime. Who's even counting at this point, Dinko? I don't even know. Are we in the 4th overtime?
We are indeed in the 4th. It's first to 28 rounds here. And overtime number 4. The player's taking a little bit of a break now at this point. You cannot blame them. This has been an absolute bloodbath.
I think I heard about one of the NA pros having a bunch of their own like signatures just on their wall or something. I think it was Floppy maybe. He just had a bunch of signed pictures of himself on his wall, which is kind of baller.
Yeah, and narcissistic, but nonetheless.
You could say that.
Interesting. I have to say, what a performance from cadian, breaking 40 kills now, 41 and 28. He has been very, very impressive on the AWP. He hasn't really slowed down that much either. He's continually shown and he's able to deliver impact for his team. Sure, he's the player firing them up as well. When it comes to those team comms, both teams, I have to say, Astralis looked a little more stressed out as we cut to Glaive's POV there. Nico just having a little check of his phone, just chilling back in his chat. So it comes down to the mentality when you hit these stages. Which team is feeling more comfortable? Honestly, both of these teams, they've had those moments that are frustrating, right? You've had those chances to take it over the line. Each team have had map point for longer than they would have liked and not took it over the line. So now we are looking at a scenario when we go again, looking for the magic number of 28 rounds. And at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we're here all night, Alex. This has been a game that will not end, a game that keeps on giving, and will continue to do so as we get into overtime number 4.
I hope you guys are sitting comfortably at home. Should have given you that warning at the start of the game. We might be in for a long one. Like you said, Cadian's stats, incredible in this game. He's still stayed strong in those opening duels. He's won 8 of those early fights. He's only been the first man to die twice. That's a really high success rate for him. I think Tessus has been doing a lot of good work in his opening kills as well. A lot of the time running in first, getting a bunch of those important frags. Let's see if he can do it again here, because there's one more overtime at a minimum that's going to be played out between these two teams. Tessus playing up close towards short. This double AWP setup coming through for Heroic. And a nice slow start to this 4th overtime.
Utility running on him from Heroic early on to force the Astralis players back, and Tessus look to try and follow up on the fleeing players. He's dropped down. He's not scared to take these fights. We've seen this from Tessus time and time again, but this time he's going to be caught without a single kill. Not the start Heroic would have been looking for. They've lost that one player. Tessus has been dying more than he's getting kills. It is a pretty prominent factor of being an entry fragger and playing in the roles that we've seen him in consistently. But nonetheless, Nico moving forward, trying to find that kill for Heroic. Magisk goes down, but Device finds the follow-up kill, keeping the man advantage in play for Astralis. Cadian, the top fragger on the server. He's over towards short. He's got a good position here with his AWP. Smokes up, Molotov's deployed, 37 seconds left in play, and Astralis still hold that man advantage.
Cadian deciding to fall back, but as soon as these smokes bloom, wow, there's only one smoke. Oh, Cadian's actually going to have a clear line of sight here. A chance. Oh, never mind. No chance. dupreeh's on the flank, and it's got to be the save. We've talked about that CT economy before, Dinko. Surely it's a save call.
Yep, it has to be at this point. You lose that first round on the CT side of 10k overtime. If you invest fully into it, you're going to be in a rough spot if you lose this first one. It has been a problem throughout overtime so far for both of these teams. Heroic actually came out worse for wear in the previous overtime, but still won the round and forced us to another. Astralis will be the first team to grab a round in OT number 4. It's down holding for Device. Oh, Device is going to evade that death. It's down, just trying to hold on desperately. Borup holding for Device, who eventually will find death. He was searching for it, that. And Borup trying to hold on. Player's now running down his position. dupreeh, he'll fall as well. Decent job done by Borup, but this AWP needs to stay afloat. This AWP needs to stay alive, and it manages to get into the next round. 25-24, Astralis into the lead.
I love that Stown doesn't take the shot there. No need for it. Just stay alive. He hasn't seen you. You can just pretend you haven't seen him too. At least that is the AWP saved over. In terms of Heroic, though, once you get into these overtimes, you are going to have rounds like that where the aggression just isn't quite timed right. You know, Tessus goes for the initial spray, unsuccessful. Nico goes and follows him up just a little bit too late. They can't fight together. They're not going to give up on the ramp that easily. Nade damage done early into this round. Cadian still playing up close, but Device has closed the distance, and Device has got the kill he was looking for. Flashed in on the angle. Opening kill again for Astralis. It's a scary situation for Heroic to be in.
Device put a lot of pressure towards Sandbags, using up quite a bit of utility just to clear that. And Dupreeh comes in. That's going to do quite a bit onto the Tiger Device. Not exactly how that one was meant to go. They're even good at utility damage on each other. And dupreeh makes the jump noise. Down now pushing forward into the waiting arms of dupreeh. Down is thinking about going around this corner, and dupreeh lays up the trap. Down walks right into it. Another kill for Astralis, a 2-man advantage. And 50 seconds left as dupreeh is just cutting through them. That's 2 kills. Cadian coming back in with an important kill, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough here for Heroic. They have to go and be monumental on this hold. As Cadian with 1, Estetite though with the double, and it's 26-24. Astralis starting to put rounds together now, starting to edge it out consistently. Heroic, by coming into this last round, will have some evident weaknesses yet again. This time, Astralis have more to play with.
dupreeh just giving out free haircuts at top mid. 2 headshots, spotting out both of those players. Clean kills on both of them as well. That makes all the difference in that round. Just having one man lurking mid, getting those 2 kills is such a massive benefit to the team. And at least Heroic have a little bit of a better buy than we've seen from some of these teams previously. Obviously still some struggles for them, but Cadian has managed to push all the way down B. Taking away that area of the map from Astralis early. That's forced a response. Speaking of a response, Device going aggressive and landing the headshot. Confidence personified in that peak. Takes an easy kill. And yet again, Dinko, in all 3 of these rounds now, Astralis have been able to find the opening pick. And the response from Heroic is a full-on rotation to this A site.
It's down looking to grab control. He's got a different position now in towards this A site. Under a minute in play for Astralis. They're on the B bomb site. They've completely walked over here with no problems, no resistance from Heroic. This looks like it's going to be a flawless round from Astralis. And while there it is, dupreeh with a headshot, cadian going down. They'll look for another kill. Nico tries his best, but dupreeh was in position to shut down the rotation. And now Borup and Nico is all that stands in this last round. Let's see if they can make it work. Astralis looking to grab map point yet again. This time, they'll have 3 opportunities to close it. Borup and Nico walk forward into the B-bomb site. Device is low, but the rest are not, and that is impossible, impenetrable, as Nico will try and move forward. He tries his best, but it's not enough. Astralis will be reaching map point yet again on Heroic's map pick. 3 opportunities, 3 chances to take this one over the line, to send us to train. I'll forgive you if you forgot this is map number 1. We've got plenty more Counter-Strike to be played tonight. And we are going on 2 hours for this first map of the series. What a game it has been. And Astralis, the prime opportunity to close it.
And that was that exact play I was talking about earlier in the game where Astralis pressure the A site. Because Device is so far forwards, he can put all the pressure on A. They can walk back B and get the site for free. And now Astralis with every chance to close this out. Look at the early damage. Nades have taken Heroic down so low. Nico's on 12 health. Borup down to 50. I think some shots might have landed as well in the midst of all of these early battles towards ramp. It's not a clean kill this time for Astralis, but they're still doing a lot of early damage.
No kills yet, but the damage is evident. Just over a minute on this clock. Astralis throwing the utility in. Oh, it's going to catch Nico. That's the opening kill Astralis were looking for. They're going to hold on to it. Heroic not in a position to find that refrag. And now we're starting to feel the pressure really mount for Heroic. A man down into this. They haven't been able to win a round in OT number 4. Is this finally where Astralis break their back?
This could be it. 33 seconds. TeSeS throws a flash out to A, but the bomb is back at mid. Heroic don't have much time left. They have to get a kill quickly. Borup moving up. dupreeh waiting patiently. First shot lands, and there's more where that came from.
Cadian, he's going to go down. Magic swings on by. Now it's just TeSeS and Down trying to get this round over the line for Heroic, but it looks impossible. Astralis have done it. They will be picking up Vertigo. They're sending us on to the second map, and the marathon concludes. It's Astralis that walk away as the victors. Heroic, so many map points, so many great rounds. What an incredible map of Counter-Strike being played in our opening game for this group. It has just been an incredible showing from both teams in a battle that I feel so bad that there had to be a loser.
I don't even know if there's anything we can specifically break down at this point. After so much Counter-Strike was just played, I will say the one thing that really seemed to change in that last overtime was Astralis getting those opening kills, those clean 5v4s in every single one of those rounds. And they converted, and now they get to head into train, 1 map to the good. They've got to be feeling great.
They definitely do. Well, luckily, Alex, we don't have to break down every single round, but there's a lot to digest. It's time for a short break, but once we're back, we'll have the thoughts of the devs to break down this incredible map of Counter-Strike.